out of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You are tuning Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad with me in effect as always. Ladies first. Porsche, what's going on?
Not a whole lot, Kill. How are you?
No doubt, everything is good. Vern from the ATL.
What's good people?
All right. Rel, Philadelphia, what's going on, brother? Eagles, Sixers.
Yes.
Looking good right now.
Yeah, word. Glad to be here.
You saw that Sixers game yesterday?
I did. Yeah.
Nut ass, still got a nut ass. So yeah, we got that going. Eddie, what's going on, good brother?
Hey man, I'm good, man. Always.
No doubt. My Morgan brethren, Gnu, what's good, baby?
What up, yo? Chilling, baby. How you?
Loving that low sweater right there, bro. Real official right there.
Nice. I wore that in your honor, brother.
I appreciate that. Y'all know me. Let's get it going, yo. One of my favorite movies is Talladega Nights, man. Is it Will Ferrell or Will Ferrell? Which one? Ferrell. Will Ferrell. I mean, Ricky Bobby, that's one of my favorite characters, man. That thing is hilarious. I don't know how that movie just stuck with me. Whenever people get on my nerves, I call him Ricky Bobby. You'll see if you ever come out to my teen center, I'll be calling people Ricky Bobby. But what I love about that is the quote of, if you're not first, you're last. Because that's so much how I live my life. It's so hard for me, second, third place. If I ain't win it, who even cares at the end of the day? So I love that. But I wanted to look at the flip of it. Usually I've been talking hip-hop, and I'm about to be 50 next year. So I've been talking hip-hop almost about 40 years. You know what I mean? And we always talk about posse cuts. We always talk about who killed them, who was the best one. But I'm like, well, who came in second place? Who came in third place? Who came in fourth place? So today we're going to be looking at 15 posse cuts, maybe more. And we're going to be looking at who came in first, second, third, and fourth. We're deading it with fourth. So things like Protect Your Neck, we're not doing number 8, who came in 8th place. If you didn't make the top 4, you just didn't make it. If there are any verses or bars or quotables that stood out for you during these songs or for the person who came in number 1, definitely let us know. I'm gonna set us off tonight just with, we coming in hot. It's like playing spades, and I'm just starting with the big joke. We coming with the Symphony. We're just gonna set it off with the Symphony. The order that I have now, a little background, because I love the fact that we have so many young viewers who tune into the show. So a little background on the Symphony. This is off of Marley Marl's In Control album, which is right here. This is 1988. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first producer's album. So this is the first time that I can remember that you're a hip hop producer. You're pulling in all your people, all the MCs you want to rock with. For people who are a little bit older, you will remember, a little bit younger, my bad. You think of Pete Rock, Soul Survivor, things like that. So this is like the OG one. A lot of bangers on here. If you haven't heard this, check this out. Dropping Science with Craig G. It's first time Craig G, first time Master Ace. Oh man, we write the songs with Biz and Heavy D. R.I.P. to both of those legends. We write the song was crazy. But on here you had the posse cut. And I don't know if this is the first posse cut. Might be. But you had the posse cut, the Symphony. You're talking about Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, Master Ace, Craig G. Little tidbit, here is the photo shoot from this. And as you can see, the whole Juice crew was there. Shan was there. The story goes that Shan was supposed to be on the Symphony. But at this time, Shan was Shan was the biggest MC out of all of them. This is probably before Long Live the Kane and all those things. I'm talking about the recording of it. So people gotta remember, just because the album dropped in a certain year doesn't mean it was recorded that year. So at that time, Shan was the biggest MC, and Shan kind of felt like I'm not showing up to rap with these nobodies, and never showed up to the session. So Marley Ace was there, and Marley was like, yo, Ace, you want to jump on instead of Shan? And then Ace jumps on and he sets off the symphony. Loved it too. So the first time we're hearing Master Ace 2 is on this joint. So the order that I have Kane, I have G-Rap, I have Ace, and I have Craig G. And to me, this is one of those times when coming in fourth place or coming in last is not a knock, because Craig G kills his verse, the whole ain't that something. You know, I've used that when I'm sampling for beats and different things like that. So definitely very dope. But the line that just stuck out to me, and Kane and G-Rap are like neck and neck, and it's just like a horse race. To me, when it's neck and neck, you need that photo finish. And for me, that photo finish was when Kane said, so put a quarter in your ass because you played yourself. Because in 1988, like you said, like a game in the arcade, that's back for the younger people watching. We used to not have PlayStations and all that. We used to have to go to the arcades in the mall or wherever you were, you know what I mean, to play these games. So when he said put a quarter in your ass because you played yourself, that was the extra oomph that gave Kane the leeway over G-Rap for me. Rel, the Symphony, what order do you have it going down?
So, fourth, I got Craig G. Third, I got Cool G Rap. I got Master Ace second.
Wow.
I got Master Ace second, and then I got Kane first. And I think Master Ace verse is super slept on that joint. Like he set it off. He went crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? No, it's one of them songs where nobody was whack. Like, so like saying Craig G is fourth is not like a slight. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody got coming forth on that joint. You know what I mean? Because everybody killed it to me. I think Kane punchline probably took it over the edge for me too, especially when I first heard it. That's what stuck out for me. You know what I'm saying? That was like the haymaker. You know what I'm saying? But it was so close. Like, that stuff that pushed you over the top. When we, thinking we got the best verse. But I think Ace was second for me. So.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I want to say Trey Lee has Ace actually having the dopest verse on the Symphony.
I think he said that, yeah.
Which to me is, and when you look at the history, because history, these tidbits, mean something to me. And it maybe for people who don't rhyme or haven't been in studio settings, it's hard. I mean, to be a new person to the game and be a new person down the Juice Crew, to be told on the spot, yo, you want to be on this song with Cool G Rap and Big Daddy Kane, like, that's almost like saying, like, yo, bro, you want to hoop? We got Jordan and Magic over here. You want to suit up real quick? Like, and hold your own. Like, hold your own on the court with them. Like, you know what I mean? That says a lot about Ace and his pen being able to come up with something. Because, again, Ace wasn't even supposed to be on this. He was kind of just there. So imagine just being at the gym. You ain't even supposed to hoop. And somebody tells you, yo, we need another person. Who we hooping against? Oh, just Jordan and Magic real quick little 2-on-2 game, and you hold it down. So, I mean, I think we got to definitely tip our hats to Ace for even being in the ring. And on top of that, not even coming in last. You know what I mean? At least for me and Ralph. I don't know about other people. But
And being new, and he had to set it off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's a big
task. That's a good point, too. That's a good point, too. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, somebody else may be like, nah, my pen ain't ready. Or I always teach Nate, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And that's a prime example of staying ready so you don't have to get ready. It wasn't okay, give me a minute, or yo, can we record tomorrow? Like, it's like, let's go. That's like this was about. You know what I mean? So definitely shout out to Master Ace for being able to hold your own with two of the greatest who have ever done it at that time. Porsche, who you got?
So my number one is Master Ace. I got Kane at number 2, G-Rap at number 3, and Craig G at number 4. And again, I love Master Ace. I probably don't talk about him as much as I should for the amount that I love him, but I get the whole quarter in your ass line that everyone loves and quotes because it was very witty and clever. But I actually like when Master Ace says, I'm going to come off stronger and longer even with the drum off. And like, he's just so dope. And with the story, just the way the story goes, that he wasn't even supposed to be there, and he comes in, guns blazing, like, that is just, to me, I'm like, yeah, you killed it. Like, we expect that from Kane. We expect that from G-Rap, but Master Ace sort of shined really, really bright in that posse cut. So for me, Ace is number one, and then
Yo, I ain't even gonna hold you. Yo, there's a sign on the door, no biting allowed. And if you didn't read it, I suggest you do so. You'll be stranded just like Caruso. Sleep if you want to. Go ahead, get your shot out. A rapper broke his jaw trying to say what I said on the mic. Come on, man. That right there, I always say that. And it's funny because now that I'm thinking, Ace really did kill that, man. You know what I mean? Because I say that all the time. I tell people, sleep if you want to. Like, go ahead, sleep if you want to. And that comes from that quotable. You know what I mean? Me and that, when we was doing Sidebar Vintage, our t-shirt line, we had a t-shirt that said, "There's a sign on the door, no biting allowed." You know what I mean? So Ace got some quotables in there. Eddie, what you got up for the Symphony, good brother?
Yo, just gonna show you like just how close it was, man. I got G-Rap. I got G-Rap 1, Big Daddy Kane 2nd, Master Ace 3rd, and those are close 3. Because I listened to this. I've listened to this a bunch of times. I heard that Ace verse, and I was like, I was like Porsche. I was like, damn, I think Ace might come first. And then I heard what G-Rap did and what Kane did. I'm like, god damn, it's hard. But one of the lines I like from G-Rap is because I put out more lights in a fight than Con Edison. Like being from New York, you know what I'm saying? Con Edison, that's water and power, you know what I mean? So, instantly got that.
Stage like I'm on a rampage. If you want rage, I'm gonna make front page. Yeah, you just talking about lyrical, monsters just going at it. You know what I mean? So just crazy. Gnu, who you got, bro?
All right, man. So my number one, of course, is Kane. I feel like Kane had the most polished verse, the most solid verse. You know what I mean? Of course, the quotable with the quarter in your ass. But at the time, also 88, Kane was like a god to me, man. He was like, like there was nobody better than Kane. So he was always going to be like number one, man, for me, man. So 2, I put G-Rap. And G-Rap should be number one over Kane, but the line that stood out for me with G-Rap was coming back like I'm revenging my brother's death. You know what I mean? The fact that I got a brother, shout out to my brother. I always felt that like, damn, like, yo, if I had to revenge my brother's death, son, I would, you know what I mean? I'd have to come back like G-Rap, son, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that line always like, I always felt that, man. Number 3, of course, Master Ace, who was not whack, like we were just saying, as we're deciphering and breaking down his verses. Like, man, Ace has so many lines in there, man, and he was also the first voice that we heard over the track. You know what I mean? Also, man, I was thinking like, imagine being like a fly on the wall in that session, man. Like, imagine like just being in that room, like the jokes and just the vibe that was in there at that time. Like, I know them cats was probably, sit drinking 40s, you know what I mean, smoking blue, just doing them, you know what I mean. And number 4, I had Craig. Craig. Also, but see, with his another line that I felt with Craig too was when he said, "Can I have your autograph for me and my grandma?" That was always because I'm tight with my grandma. So that was another line that like, rest in peace to my grandma. So yeah, that was another line that always stood out for me, man. So yeah, that was my order for the Symphony.
That's dope. The closer, what's going on, good brother? What you got for us?
This is gonna be the least concise review out of all of them. I'm gonna just name names. I got G-Rap, Kane, Master Ace, and Craig.
Okay.
Next question.
So if not for nothing, Ace definitely gets a lot of love. Again, I have to do a better job. One of my young boys was like, yo, you gotta do a little more schooling on the show. So real quick, where's the sound? Ace right here. One of my favorite hip hop.
Yeah,
albums.
take a look around.
Top 20 favorite hip hop
I used to
album.
bang. I used to
Listen
knock
to,
that album.
listen to the words I'm saying. I'm not saying it's the top 20 greatest, but it's one of my personal favorites. Before somebody on Twitter tells me I'm wrong, it's my favorite top 20 hip hop album. A lot of people have never heard this album. This is 89 Marley, still in his bag. This is a 5 mic classic album to me, a debut album that does not get talked about enough. So you've heard us talk about Master Ace all this time. Go do the homework, check out this album, let me know what you think about it. Next up, we have these cats from Long Island, De La Soul.
Bruh.
Dopest hip hop groups ever. One of the hip hop groups that have never broken up.
Right.
So just, legends in this game. If you haven't heard this album, please do acknowledge. Go back in time and check out 3 Feet High and Rising. And the track that we are talking about off this joint is Buddy, the remix, which is the video version, which has the Jungle Brothers, Moni Love, Tribe Called Quest, and of course De La Soul. I'm setting it off like this. I got Moni coming in number 1. I got Africa from the Jungle Brothers coming in number 2. I got Tip coming in at number 3. I got Paz coming in at number 4. Moni. At that time, Moni's flow so fast, her voice, Moni, I really want to understand what happened to Moni's career, and I've watched one of those unsungs and kind of seen the behind the scene drama of label work and all that, because you could not have told me after I heard Moni's verse. Now, as the lady, I thought the Jungle Quest of Soul would just maybe, just the way that she popped in, and as a matter of fact, it crazes me in many ways. I was thinking about this time for Moni Love to say, just everything. You couldn't have told me that Moni Love was not next. You could not tell me that she was going to not be the next one. And the debut album just wasn't it. Moni in the Middle was cool. It's a shame I like the remix better, but I just, again, so Moni, I got that. Africa, when he was like De La Soul, on a roll, Black Medallions, No Gold, hanging out with Paz, hanging out with Mace, buddy, all in my face, on the lap, Jim Browski must wear a hat. It's just such a feel-good song. If you don't smile when Buddy comes on you, the feds, I can't trust you. I can't bring you around my kids and nothing like that. So yeah, I got Moni, Africa, Tip, and Paz. Rel, who you got coming up in Buddy?
Yo, so I got Paz 4th, Tip 3rd. Yo, this was difficult, yo. But because Moni Love, I felt like every time I heard her, she was killing shit. When she was on Ladies, she went stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Body Latifah, yeah.
And on this joint, she went stupid to me. Her flow is it's so clear. I can understand every word. You feel what I'm saying?
Nah, but I think she had that rapid flow too.
Yeah.
But like you said, you heard every word. It wasn't rapid. Right.
I hear every word, but she going. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, man. I think Africa had the best verse because I feel like when I listen to that song, his verse kind of embodies the song, the way he was flowing with that quote, what you just quoted, that part, that was just, I don't know. It's like you saying this is a fun song, and I feel like he embodied it the best. And I had Moni second. That was between them two, it was close, man. But I feel like he just embodied the song the best out of everybody that rapped on it. So that's my order.
And I don't know how y'all felt about this, but this, I've never thought about this. In 40 years of discussing hip hop, I've never thought about who was second or third. And it's making me really appreciate people who I didn't appreciate for the past 40 years. For me, if Moni killed it. I wouldn't even thought going into this, I didn't think Africa was gonna be my number 2. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, even from the fly, Buddy, don't you know you make me go nutty? You know what I mean? Miss Crabtree, I hope that shit ain't mad at me. Just everything was about it. Jungleistically horny. So yeah, they and truth be told, Mike G wasn't bad either. Mike G killed it too. You know what I mean? But Tip just coming in with, for the next. I'm the Q-Tip from a Tribe Called Quest. When you quest for the buddy. So again, man, it just everything about the song. Portia, you got it for Buddy, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to quote because you guys quoted all the best parts.
Oh, you know what? Let me stop quoting then.
No, it's all good. I don't have quotes for all of them anyway, but I won't pull one for this because you said pretty much all of them. So my rankings are: I got Africa at number 1, I got Q-Tip at number 2, I got Pos at number 3, and Moni Love at number 4. And Kill, I mean, you and Rel both echoed it. It's a very, very fun song. It's got good energy. I just love the way Africa's very, just playful with it, and so is Tip. I love how much they kind of refer to Buddy along the way. Like, it's a very feel-good posse cut, and I just think that these 4 were the kind of the standouts for me, so.
All right, no doubt. Eddie, what you got?
So, man, I went so back and forth with this one because it was like, I had to change it because I was thinking I was going to put someone in my first spot, and then I was thinking about the quote, and I'm like, damn, they ain't really nothing I would really quote. So, all right, but I'll say I'm doing Q-Tip at 4, Africa number 3, Moni Love at 2, and then Paz number 1. And the quote I got from Paz, Buddy is an act that occurs on the lift when Jimmy and Jenny start shooting the gift. I think it was all fun, but I feel like Paz is just like naturally lyrical. Like even in a fun song like this, like when he's not trying to be, like he just kind of has that, you know what I mean? I would say it's not really a verse, but I would say my favorite element of the song is like Africa with the whole dancing on the dance floor. Right.
Mm-hmm. That's from Dragon and Boasting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right, no doubt. Oh, you know what? It's actually I got it like that. That's what.
I'm sorry, you're right. Dragon and Boasting was the other joint. Right. Indeed.
Right. But yeah, that junk. Don't get me started on that Straight Up Jungle album. That is a top 10 favorite hip hop album of mine. Yeah. Ever. GNU, what you got?
Yo, first of all, I want to say I cannot wait until De La Soul's catalog becomes available, son. March the 3rd. Native Tongue is like my favorite group of all time. That's like my era. That's like my youth. That's my childhood. That is the soundtrack to my teenage years, man. My formative years coming up, man. So at the time, though, like a song like Buddy, like Kill said, I never broke this song down like that to say who killed it, who was the nicest, because I love the whole shit. I love every person on there. We forgot to mention Latifah's that ooh child, her singing ability, like, you know what I mean? Like Latifah she got a beautiful voice, man. I think that was a nice element that was added to that song, man.
People sleep on Winky's thing.
Oh man, that whole CD, but
Winky's theme on the Black Rain.
Yes.
The last song on Black Rain.
Yes.
Or Winky's theme. It's like a jazz song.
Never for the grace of God.
But yeah,
styling on that mug. Yeah.
So for them to also to fit, to be able to pretty much fit the whole crew on the song, like you got a version. They don't play the video, but you got fifers on there. It's like it's verses on there that they cut out. But as far as to put it in the order, I really like the way Africa and Pos were going like back to back on some Kiss and Styles type. That's what it kind of reminded me of when I think of that. The way they were going back and forth on the song. So I would have Africa 1, Pos probably 2, Mike G. Mike G was a smooth. I love Mike G's flow, man. I love him. He says, then I check my swatch to see the time. You know what I mean? Like that shit is like.
Moving the buddy line and that.
Yeah, Mike G had that. He was that smooth flow.
You know what, Gnu, the funny thing about that, man, is the beauty of hip hop back then, that you could say I checked my swatch to see the time.
Right.
Not my Richie. Not my Rollies in the air.
Swatches was the shit back then. If you had
swatches was the shit. But again, it just goes to that time that hip hop was so innocent that a swatch watch was dope.
That was dope shit.
Jetta is the equivalent of probably a Benz right now. Like, you know what I mean? Right. Like, it was just so much simpler times, you know, where it's like, if you ain't talking about a Richard Mill right now, or you ain't, you know what I mean? Like, you can't even talk about those Swatch watch. You'd be laughed out the studio session talking about Swatch.
You remember Chuck had that my 98 Oldsmobile. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Talking about a 98 Oldsmobile. Right. You know what I mean? You'd get laughed out the session now talking about a 98 Oldsmobile, man. Vern, what you got for yours, good brother?
All right, so to do some homage first, and of course, Gnu gonna pay homage to Jersey when he bringing up Latifah. But nah, the whole era, the whole mood. If you can see, De La Soul on my wall, and Gnu talking about when they finally gonna release. Allegedly, I believe it when I see it. I'm from Missouri, man. We've been waiting. We've been waiting 2 years. But anyway, this song, this album, De La Soul, man, was like between De La and Heavy were the first people that like, yo, that's kind of like who I am. You know, I ain't no extra, no 5%er. I ain't no thug. That's me right there. And De La Soul, I used to love watching those videos because that was my introduction to New York, like China and Jet dancing and all that stuff. That like was a different world to me. So Moni Love first, she just technically killed that mother. And then I like the way Mike G styled it, so I got him at 2. Then Q-Tip, because Q-Tip was one of my favorites. And then Africa. And it's funny, as you said, Kill, I've listened to this song a billion times. I never took the time to say who's ranked or whatever, but that's the order that I would put it in.
Yeah,
no doubt.
And I think with the joint, you know, like it's just a fun joint. It's not competitive. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. It's like they complementing each other instead of competing.
Right. It's like okay, Moni, you gonna start, so we want you to score all the points. And Mike and Africa, we throwing up alley-oops, we getting assists, we playing defense or whatever. You know, so it wasn't like everybody wasn't trying to get 60.
Right. No doubt. For all the young folk out there wondering who's Africa, straight out the Jungle Brothers. This is a top 10 fave hip hop album of mine. So if you want to know more about Africa and the Jungle Brothers and everything like that, this is the album to get you started with right there. So we got that. Next up, we got Headbanger, EPMD. CD has been through it. You can see it's all cracked up. I don't even have the cover no more. I done had this since 92, my freshman year in Oregon.
Is that signed?
This out. Nah. You know what it was, Gnu? Living in Baldwin my freshman year, niggas would always like, yo, Kill, let me borrow something. You know how many CDs I lost that first year? So I started tagging my name.
Yeah.
Every CD.
Is that one of those like silver markers that used to be?
Yep, the whole silver markers.
No more.
Yep. So this way, say I was over Burn, I was in Burn car, I could be like, oh, that's my, because you don't want to just be like, everybody had a CD. You ain't want to be like, oh, that's my EP. This way, you borrow it, guess what, nigga? It's coming back home eventually, because we going to get it. So, yeah, so that was that. So we got Headbanger. You're looking at Redman, EPMD, K Solo. I can't say, of course, because somebody on here had a doper verse than what I really thought they had. I got to go with Redman. You know what I mean? This is just Red in his bag, because I can jam like Teddy if you let me. You know what I mean? Because I give rap with the blunt, with the blunt Moet, and what you see is what you getting, and what you getting is your ass kicked, nigga. Like that nigga at the end that was like the perfect exclamation point to that bar. It's like what you see is what you getting, and what you getting is your ass kicked, nigga. And then of course, you know, Wicked with the style, you thought I had cerebral palsy. You know what I mean? Like that was it right there. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do what Red comes back because I don't want the cerebral palsy of America boycotting the Park to 5B. But just that right there was the verse for me. I'm gonna wait till everybody else goes because I don't want to say any other quotes because I have quotes all through here because I think everybody killed it. But in the order I've got Redman, I've got Eric, I've got Parrish, then I've got K-So. So that's the order I got. Rel, what's the order you got, brother?
I got Redman number 1, and everybody killed it. But I think he washed everybody on there to me. Like, not that they was whack, but he just was like, when I heard that cerebral palsy line, even though it was fucked up, like, I like ran out the room. Like, what's wrong with this dude? Like, crazy, man. Like he's
the views of Kill and Rail do not represent apartment 5B.
Thank you,
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate it. Yeah. I was like, is he serious? But he killed that, man. Like for real. So I got him number 1. I got Eric Sermon number 2.
I didn't realize how dope Eric's verse was. Going back,
so that changed actually. Cause my original order was how the Redman 1, K-Solo, Eric, Parrish. But it switched. Now I have Eric 2, I have K-Solo 3, and Parrish 4. Okay. I got Redman number 1.
All right. Pete, what about you, man?
So I've got Redman at number 1. I've actually got Parrish at number 2, K-Solo at number 3, and Eric Sermon at number 4. And I love EPMD. I love this joint. This is an amazing joint. So no wrong answers and no ranking order is bad, really. But my line, and Kill, you kind of said it, but my favorite line is, because I jam like Teddy, if you let me, a good fella, but still nothing like Joe Pesci. And Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies. I just love the references. Whenever a rapper can reference one of my favorite movies, it's gonna just make my ears perk up. So I absolutely loved this one, and it was used so perfectly. Redman is silly. He has like witty, clever lines, and he's such a silly guy with it. So yeah, I mean, he was the star for sure.
And I don't know if people really realize. I know Busta and the Dungeon Dragon. Red was kind of right there at that time. Like Red would be that dude who could spaz out and just destroy a posse cut or anything that Red was on. Even if we going back to hardcore off EPMD's third album, like Red was just a fucking problem. Eddie, who do you have up? You're muted, bro.
Yeah, my bad. I got same order you had, Kill. I got Redman, Eric Sermon, Parrish, and then K-Solo. I got the same bars, like the Joe Pesci bar and the cerebral palsy bar. But I think they were all dope. One thing I will say is I kind of feel like K-Solo had a dope verse. I just don't feel like it aged as well, and maybe it's just like how he was rhyming. It feels more dated than the rest of the crew. You know what I mean?
Well, I can say this. I was just happy the nigga didn't spell anything. So for me, that's all. Hey, I'm just waiting like, oh God, BIRDSNSKY. Like, I didn't spell, fuck it. Thumbs the fuck up, nigga. You passed. Like, you passed the class. Just,
man.
You win, nigga. So, yeah, yeah. Good dude. What do you got, bro?
Well, I got Redman at number 1.
Of course.
Shout out to my favorite rapper, Redman, representing Jersey. But yeah, man. About the cerebral palsy line, did y'all see the video? It was a skit that Redman had did, him walking on the elevator, and there was a guy on the elevator that had cerebral palsy, and he asked Redman about the line and all that. Did y'all see that?
I think I seen it.
If you get a chance, look that up. Redman did a whole skit. Recently.
So it's a skit. Or was it real? Like, did somebody really ask him with cerebral palsy, or he's?
It was a skit that happened. Well, that he walked in the elevator and there was a guy in there with cerebral palsy. He was like, "Yeah, aren't you Redman? Aren't you the guy that said cerebral palsy, and he was like, yeah, well, I was young back then, you got to check it out though. It was like funny though. It was like on some comical shit. It wasn't like on some serious shit. But anyway, Parrish and Eric, honestly, man, I don't even remember what they said on Headbanger, man. I just know that this was like the bittersweet album with that. What was that? Business Never Personal.
Yeah.
Where they broke up and they was breaking up and all that shit was going on. So that was like a dark time for PMD and the Hit Squad at that time, man. K Solo, I would probably say him next after Redman number 2. And like you said, Kill, I'm glad that he didn't spell anything because recently I pulled out one of his albums and his first album, and I was like, man, it was every song. It was like he spelled every. Anyway, man.
Well, here's the thing for pause, because for people watching, I love K Solo's first album. He was spelling, but at that time that was cool. It's 1990. Hip hop is still in its infancy stages. It just so happened his superpower was rhyming. But I mean, Your Mom's in My Business, Spellbound.
Yeah, he had tracks like that.
Yeah.
But so that would be my order. I would say Red number 1, Solo number 2, and Eric and Parrish after that. On the Headbanger.
Bro, who you got, bro?
I got the linguistics phonics guy first. K Solo. Since y'all y'all trashing literacy. I got K Solo 1, Redman 2, PMD 3, and Eric 4.
Okay. All right. No doubt. Real quick with the Business Never Personal. I gotta look because all their albums are businesses. Again, for young folk who may have never heard this, 5 mic album to me right here. Straight out the Boondocks. Yo, nobody safe. Can't hear nothing but the music. R.I.P. R.I.P. Hurricane G. She had a song called Milky that was over the same beat. I can't hear nothing but the music. That was crazy. Chill, Headbanger, Scratch, Bring It Back, Crossover, EPMD's biggest song, Humming Coming At You with DOS Effects. That was a dope point. This whole album is dope. It's going down. Who Killed Jane? I was tired of the Jane stories.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Still a 5 mic album to me. Next up, you know what? I want to talk about Eric's verse because I never really paid that much attention to it. You wonder where I've been working. Then you dig the rhythm and I'll play the Running Rebel. Then I love the part, yo, where's my hoodie? I want to be hard because it starts some ruckus. Talk with the B-boy slang and blast at suckers. Because this was like at the time in 92, like everybody wanted the hoodie. Like the hoodie was just, went around campus with the hoodie on. So when Eric said, where's my hoodie? It was like, yo, that was just a dope line to me. And
but when he said the wubba wubba at the Palladium though.
Yeah.
That's when I was like,
yeah. All right, let's go to this. We got Flavor in Your Ear to Remix. I'm going in this order. I'm going with Big, LL, Buster, and Rampage. I wasn't even mad at Rampage's rhymes.
Nah, he killed that.
Yeah, he killed it to me. So Big again. All I gotta do is say Invisible Bully like the Gooch. When I heard that, if you're my age and you watch Different Strokes and the Gooch bully who would fucking terrorize Arnold every day, but you never saw him.
Never saw him.
When he said the invisible bully like the Gooch, you could have walked away right there for me. In the whole fuck affair one, I get mine's the fast way, ski mask way, nigga ransom note.
Yeah.
Handsome, but still a nigga tote. What you tote?
Yeah.
More guns than roses, foes thinking in they like, bro, it was just, not from Houston, but I rap a lot, pack the gat a lot. Bro, that was on some whole nother way of even thinking. Here's the part that I didn't get, because I saw this interview with Black Thought from the Roots, and they were saying that people thought they dissed the Roots, the Invisible Bully like the Roots. And I'm like, that makes absolutely no fucking sense.
No sense.
Like, Invisible Bully but it was just bunk because this is Thought saying he thought that people thought that. And I'm like,
wow.
Did you not watch fucking Different Strokes growing up? Like, who could confuse that line from Invisible Bully like the Gooch to Invisible Bully like the Roots? Like, fucking
Ain't nobody in the
Fucking
room
I
no
shall
bully.
proceed roots.
Right.
Like, I mean, what bully is
Talking
that?
about?
Fucking silent treatment roots? The niggas who make slow songs? Like, come on. But so yeah, I'm gonna wait because I don't want to give away anybody else's verses, but that's me. So Big, LL, Busta, and Rampage. I'll say this with LL. He's on his Camp Low shit because I ain't know what the fuck he was talking about. I don't know what Ishe is. I don't know 90% of this verse, but it sounded good. Which
He was just silent.
I will give anybody who can tell me what Lucchini is about all my fucking sneakers and all my polo.
Yeah,
If you can tell me what the fuck Lucchini is about. We have no idea, it just feels good and we love it. And put your istles in the air. So, Rel, what you got, man?
Yo, so I got big number one, man. You know what I mean? Don't be mad, UPS hiring, man.
yeah,
Like,
man.
Boom.
should have been a top. You should have been a top. Fuck hip hop.
With that
Freestyle, you
freestyle,
got it. Yo, man. So yeah, big styling as usual. Like,
and you know what it was with Big too? It seems so effortless. You know what Big is like? It's like when you watch Kyrie dribble. Like his handle is just like, it don't even look like he's trying to handle the ball. Like some of the shit Kyrie does is just like, I know it's not Jordan-esque because he's not dunking, but like he had this layup last night against the Sixers, and I felt like that nigga just hung in the air.
Shit was
beautiful.
That shit was
You know
crazy.
what I mean? It's just
That
like,
shit
so
was
when
crazy.
I see Kyrie hoop, it's like, that's how I feel like with Big rhyming. Like, Big
Big is John
Big,
Coltrane and Miles Davis. He just
it's like you're not even thinking about it. It's just like, let me go in here and just kill this verse real quick.
Yep.
You know.
He ain't even break a sweat on that verse. This shit was just like,
Right.
yeah, just easy money. I got LL number 2. Yo, I don't know what he was talking about.
How we guessed that L was coming in number 2, bro?
I mean, of course. I mean, you know. But
he was just styling. He was styling.
Yeah, blowtitious, skeevy, delicious. I'm like, what the fuck is but it was L, you know what I'm
It
saying?
sounded good. That's all you need
I
sometimes.
just like a genius.
Hollis to Hollywood, but is he good?
Yeah, he broke it. He broke it down about a year or two ago on Twitter.
Oh, he did?
LL,
Okay.
yeah, he kind of explained it. Still don't understand what he was saying, but yeah.
It was like on some innuendo kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
That's
I had
little pink cookies in a plastic bag getting crushed by
Getting
buildings.
crushed by
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was good shit, by the way. I had Busta, and then I had the most fortunate MC in the world, Rampage.
In the world.
Because I was like, yo, how he get on this joint? Like, he ain't do bad or nothing. He ain't do bad. When I saw Rampage, I was like, how Rampage get on it? Like,
That's Busta. That's Busta saying, yo, you know me. This man is my new artist.
That's love right there. That's love.
Busta's mom said you can't go to the party unless you take your cousin with you. That's what that was.
Yeah. So that's my order.
All right, Porsche, what you got?
Okay, so I got Big first. I have Busta second, LL third, and Rampage fourth. And then the lines that I love were, I mean, Rel said it, but I'm going to say it again. It says, when Big says, forget it, you're mad because my style you're admiring, don't be mad, UPS is hiring. I love that. I laugh every single time I hear it because it's so dope. And then I also love Busta because he is so silly sometimes with the way he says things and in the style he says it. So when he goes, flavors all in your ass crack, Busta Rhymes about to bring the noise, don't cease, let me loose from the belly of the beast. Like, I just, Busta freaking Rhymes, man. Like, what are you saying? If people just stop and pay attention to what Busta says sometimes, he is a comedy show. His verses are pure comedy sometimes. So, yeah, those two were the lines that stuck out.
All right, Eddie, what you got, bro?
Yeah, man. No surprise. I got Big. I got LL. Like you said, we don't know what he was saying, but it sounded dope. You know what I mean? He made that shit sound fly, even though like we're like, what he talking about? But Busta with the energy and Rampage, because I feel like it brings me to another topic. I won't belabor, but I feel like a lot of times on posse cuts that are from remixes, a lot of MCs can't top their original verse. So I feel like Craig Mack was doper on the original Flavor in Your Ear, and like this one, he like barely showed up. It's just all right. he should have been more motivated.
I wonder. God bless the dead with Craig Mack, R.I.P. I wonder if he felt like, nigga, I don't want no fucking remix. Like, right. my song was the shit, because people will try to change the narrative, but Flavor in Your Ear was bigger than Juicy.
Yes, it
was.
Yeah.
So Craig Mack was the face of Bad Boy for a moment in time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then he could have been like, I don't want a remix, nigga. I don't want a remix with all these other niggas on it. You know what I mean? So I just wonder if that's what happened. If it's a, hey, yo, we need to do a remix because this is blowing up, but we got to get big and blah, 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 blah. So I wonder if it was like, you know, I'm going to just mail in this verse because I really don't even want to be here. Type
it felt like he mailed it in, But
which is a bad thing to do. People out there watching, don't ever mail in no fucking verse. If you an MC, you better bring your best verse, because you don't want to end up being talked about 20 years later as you got washed on your own shit. So never mail in a verse. I don't give a fuck. If you gonna be in the studio, bring your A game every time.
And y'all said most of the Biggie verses, but this is another one I like, when he's like, I see the gimmicks, the whack lyrics, it's depressing, dead it, please forget it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Leading up to the UPS line, you know what I mean? So that whole scheme, the way he did that shit was dope. Like, you know, like Vern was saying, it's like a musician, you know what I mean?
Right. Right. Gnu, what you got, bro?
Of course, I had Biggie at number one. You know, we said all the, you know, all the lines and shit, man. His whole verse was like a fucking, what was that shit? And what they used to have in the source, the verse of
the hip hop quotables.
Hip hop quotable of the That his whole verse was that, man. But I was just thinking about the way he said, "Take them rhymes back to the factory." Like that was just like word, effortless flow, man. Like Big.
And that's
Big
one of those
like,
things that I would love to know, like how Big went from "Give Me the Loot" Big to this Big, because they're two totally different Bigs. You know
what I think? I think he's more of that Big than he is "Give Me the Loot" Big. That's you. If you watch the documentary, Big wasn't always no street cat like that. So, and you remember his mentor was a jazz musician, I believe. So I think that's more of who he was until he became beating the Notorious B.I.G. And I think that's why it's so effortless.
Right. All right, good point. My bad. You know, I didn't mean to cut you.
No, we good. No, we building. Number two was Busta, man. Busta Rhymes is like my second favorite rapper, and like Portia was saying, man, that little freestyle that he kicked before his verse, like that shit.
Right.
He killed it with that right there. He had you like on the edge of your seat, waiting for him to say his verse now, and then when he dropped with shit, hey, it was like at time, man. Busta Rhymes was on fire, man. He was like he was killing everything at that time, man. So that was a you know, as you said, Craig Mack may not have wanted that, but that was a big record, man. That was a that video was crazy, man.
You know the thing is, Gnu, and it's funny because it was a big record for everybody but Craig. You know what I mean? And that may be the problem, because again, the original, this is one of those times where the remix, you forget about the original. So what essentially happened is when this came out, because before this came out, we was all playing Flavor in Your Ear. Everybody, you knew the rhymes, verse 1 through 3. Once this remix came out, nobody ever played the OG no more. You know what I mean? So it's literally like, this is like the I Got You Open remix. Nobody ever plays the I Got You Open off the end of the stage no more, because the remix was so big. So it was a big record for everybody but Craig. It was a big record for Big. You know what I'm saying? It was a big record for Busta, but it wasn't a big record for Craig. And that's the fucked up part, man.
Right. Yeah, damn. Yeah, rest in peace to Craig G, man. I mean, Craig Mack. I'm sorry.
You said Craig G. No rumors. Craig G.
Right. I don't want to start no rumor. No, I meant to say Craig Mack. Number 3 was LL, and like we said, that verse to this day, I still don't know what LL was saying, but it was L, man. Like LL, he's another one of my favorites, man. So at that time, LL was still doing his thing. He used to rock the the one sweatpant, leg pulled up. You know what I'm saying? So he was still hanging in there. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time he was an OG at the time. So he was still able to come in there and hold his own. Rampage coming in at number 4. Again, great opportunity for Rampage. Before that record, I remember he had that joint pulling out my knapsack or something. I think it was called Knapsack. You don't remember that? He had a video or single called Knapsack.
Okay. Okay.
But prior to that, I didn't really hear much of Rampage. And then later on, he came with the flip mode stuff. But yeah, that was a great opportunity for him. And like Rel said, he didn't do bad at all. The brother did his thing. Did his thing on the verse. So that's my order.
2194, mad motherfucker, hardcore. You know what I mean? I make other rappers have that. When that nigga said the dangerous ruggedness from the Flatbush abyss, like BLM 96 Kiss bounce to this, like yo,
he did what he had to do. Did his thing on that joint, and then when he came out with Wild for the Night, I was like,
Wild for the Night?
Yeah, Wild for the Night.
Wild for the Night.
It's about to be the shit. Yeah.
That wasn't the album. I forget the name of the album.
Oh man,
it was like the cover was like it's coming through a balloon or something.
Yeah.
Last Boy Scout.
The last
Boy
Scout,
Scout,
right? Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, but Rampage was dope. Vern, what you got for your order, bro?
This is one of the very few times in life where I've listened to this panel and it has influenced my choices. So obviously, Big just destroyed. He styled. He's won. LL, I think LL was like in his mode where like, nigga, I'm LL, so I'ma just get on the track and talk nonsensical, and y'all gonna dig it, and he did. So, hey, Rampage, your family, if you're listening, bruh, get your flowers now, cause I got you number 3, and bruh, and that actually was changed just listening to y'all. Like, you know what? Cause I had a bias. Like, why is this nigga on the track? But the more I listen to it and listen to y'all, he did all right. He did good.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna finish with Busta. I think, to me, like, Busta almost overdid it in my mind. With he just like was.
I could see that.
Zany out of it. Hey, like, hey, man.
But here's the thing. Maybe it's like the Hour Sound show. They was like, yo, we want that scenario buster. He's like, oh, you want that? And Pop would be like, we want that but more. He's like, fuck it, let's go. I'm like, okay, right. I'll give it to you. Hey, that check clear, Puff, let's go.
There you go. So yeah, that's my order, man. Big, LL, Rampage, and Busta.
All right. Next up, let's stay with the man from Queens, the living legend, LL Cool J, the I Shot Your remix, man. I've got Prodigy coming in first. I got Keith Murray coming in second, LL third, Fat Joe last. P, just the Illuminati got my mind, soul, and my body. Like, just that right there. P just went to work. Keith, leave your clique holier than the 10 Commandments. Y'all commercial niggas better having a Coke and a smile. I shot you. Like, I don't think for a lot of MCs out there who are younger, even MCs who are still, there's so much like little things like when I was talking about Redman with what you getting into ass kicked nigga. That nigga adds something to that. That whole you commercial niggas better have a Coke and a smile. I shot you. He could have just said y'all commercial niggas better have a Coke and a smile. They just left it. But that I shot you was like the motherfucking period. That was like, and it just let for P to come in. So again, I got P, Keith Murray, LL, Fat Joe. Rel, who you got? Because I know where your heart wants to go.
Okay.
Do I gotta give the speech like in He Got Game when he's like, yo, you know, men think with their minds, boys think with their hearts?
Hey man, they won't kick you out the LL club, Rel. So just.
Okay.
Don't.
Number one is. All right, I got you. Number one is Prodigy. I conversate with many men. Like, how he be starting these verses off.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He doesn't get enough love for the way he sets off his rhymes, man. He doesn't.
He said, "My
About to
shit
begin
attract
again.
millions like the moon attract the sea. How dare you ever niggas walk past me?" Yo, he was on some. That was prime Prodigy right there. Like, Illuminati got my mind, soul, and my body. Secret society. He just was on some other shit, right? Number 2, I got LL number 2. My favorite part is he's like female rappers too. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck, dude.
That shit was hard.
I got that quote down here too, man.
Yeah, that shit was hard. Like this Mo D Hammer and Ice T's girl. Like that's like one of my favorite things about L. Of course, I always say it is that he want to smoke with everybody and give a fuck. So I got him to 3. Keith Murray at 3. He started off good. You know what I'm saying? It's tough being the first person.
Right.
The rap, you know what I'm saying, on a posse cut the thing. And 4 for me, I got Foxy. I just remember when I saw it, the video, I didn't really know who she was like that. And I was just impressed. Like, yo, I like Shorty gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? When she, you know, moved forward in her career. So I gotta give her 4. I was gonna give her 3rd. I give her 3rd.
All right. The funny thing about
Fat Joe, let me speak to Fat Joe. I like the way he started his verse off, but in comparison to everybody else, I couldn't put it.
Nah, it's funny. We get this record in 89. The video's not out yet. Nobody's ever heard this before. We're playing it. All 9, 10, 11 niggas in the studio, we all thought Foxy Brown was Shaheem. Because this is the first time.
I can see that.
Because we didn't know who fought. We didn't even look at who the roster was. We just put the record on. We get records in the mail. We play them in the pre-production studio before the show, and we heard it. We all thought it was Shaheem. We thought Shaheem was on it. So it was bugged when we was like, well, who the fuck is Foxy Brown? Like, you know what I mean? And then to see the video. And Rel, to your point, Els, the way he started with the fuck, I thought I conquered the world. The reason why I love that so much is because it's like how I feel sometimes. Like, what the fuck else I gotta do? Like, what else is left? Like, what else do I got to like? And so I loved it because it was almost like LL was like exasperated. Like, what the fuck? I thought I conquered the world. Like, I done crushed Mo. Like, I done did this, and y'all still talking shit. Like, so I love the way L started that rhyme off like that. Porsche, what you got up next, sis?
So I got LL Cool J at number 1, Fat Joe at number 2, Prodigy at number 3, and Foxy at number 4.
Okay.
I know. I tried to not be Fat Joe's verse, but I did like it. I can't even lie. He said the most asinine things in the world now in 2023, but on this joint, he was not saying those things. So, yes, and the lyrics that stood out were, of course, the Cool Mo D Ice-T's Girl line, of course, and then I also like I'm trying to shorten it. I don't want to keep going, but when he says, "They ass is always running back, not this time, but next time I'ma name names, LL, shitting from on top of the game, I shot ya." I love when he says that. It's like a big, you know, it's just dope.
Man, no doubt. Eddie, what you got up, bro?
All right, man. I'm gonna be the only one. I got Keith Murray number 1, and Prodigy a close second. That's close, but I felt like Keith Murray, like they were both real lyrical in different ways. Keith Murray got me with energy, and you know the way he set it off. So Keith Murray, Prodigy, Foxy at 3rd, because I felt Foxy killed it. Like just the whole, and I don't like using this word, but Foxy had the swagger on that shit. Like she brought a whole different swagger on that. Like, and LL at 4th, which ain't a bad thing, man, because it's like he showed up, he killed his verse. Like Kill said, the way he set it off. It's just everyone stepped up. Fat Joe just kind of lagged behind to me, you know. Yeah, with Keith Murray, I'm here to make $1 out of 15 cents and let my balls hang like I'm on the toilet taking shit. My style is all that and a big bag of chips with the dip. So fuck all that sensuousness. I represent intellectual violence and leave it click holier than the Ten Commandments. Like, killed it.
Yeah.
He did.
And here's the funniest part. I still to this day don't know if they all did this together, but Keith and Prodigy had beef at this time. So I don't know if they was in the studio together or if L, but just the fact that I'm just always intrigued the backstory. Like, did L let them know they both gonna be on the track together? You know what? You know how that went about, because back in the day when I would do records with people, and it would be like they find out somebody else was on the track. My number one rule with recording was, whatever verse you come, that's the verse. That's your verse. You see what I'm saying? Because niggas will come to the crib with one verse, then my other mans will show up and be like, oh, I ain't know he was on this track. Yo, I gotta rewrite my verse. Nah, nigga. Whatever you wrote, you should have came with your A. Again, rappers, come with your fucking A game. Like, I don't understand niggas, and this ain't even just new shit, because niggas used to do it back in the day. Like, if I'm coming on a track and my beat is written to, and I get to the studio and I see Good News there, and then I got to be like, oh no, I got to rewrite that shit. I ain't no Good News. Nigga, whatever you wrote should have been your best shit. So it shouldn't matter who showed up to the studio. You just ready to rock. Again, stay ready so y'all don't have to get ready. Too many of y'all niggas out there be, okay, I'm gonna just write a little something. Nah, nigga, and then that would be it. Niggas hated that shit. Cause I'm like, nah, whatever. Or don't get on the track. You ain't got to be on the track, my nigga. But whatever you got right now, that's what we recording. This ain't no go back and forth and keep going back. True story. Back in Philly, Ralph, I ain't naming names, but niggas would come to my crib, record, he'd hear that track, he'd go back, we want to record. Shit take a whole week to make one song, because niggas want to keep outdoing each other. No, nigga, bring me your A game, and that's it. That's why I had to come with them rules. Like, you either come with your A game or don't get on the song. But we ain't going back and forth. Gnu, what you got up for this one?
My number one was Keith Murray, man, and like Eddie said, man, his energy was so crazy on that. Like, when he said, I represent intellectual violence, like that shit just struck a chord in me. Yeah, so he had the best verse overall on the whole song to me. P came in with like Eddie said, a strong second. With that I conversate with many men, time to begin again. Like, that was just P was killing shit, man. That was but also back then, P was on fire as well, man. Like, Mobb Deep was like, they was them dudes at the time, man.
96 Prodigy could have been the best MC that year, and that's the same year that It Was Written came out.
Right. At that time, they had Hell on Earth was out, right?
Hell on Earth, yep. So again, we talking. I mean, Still Shining. I mean, P was real fucking dangerous back then.
Yeah, well, he was a bad man. Number 3, LL. It was his song, and like I said, at the time, LL was an OG in the game. He had already been out probably about 10 years at that time, man. So he was still making hits, still staying relevant. I gave Fat Joe number 4 on that track.
All right, no doubt. Ron, what you got, bro?
I got LL. I love his arrogance. So that gives him the first. Foxy Brown was nasty on this mug. I got her going too. I love her voice. To me, if you say this is chauvinist, I don't care. A dope female voice on a hard track, it's like adding icing, man. It does something to it. So that's why she's 2. I'm going Prodigy 3, and I'll give Keith Murray 4.
All right. I think too, if I would have known it was Foxy, I would probably look at the verse differently. But again, just the way that it came to us, not knowing who it was, and us thinking it's Shaheem, and then find out it's a Shorty, I think that just kind of ruined the whole thing for me. It's like Usual Suspects. One night, late night, I'm watching HBO, I'm flipping channels, and I saw Usual Suspect from the end, and it just ruined the whole movie for me. You know what I mean? Because I already knew who Kaiser Sorsay was, so it was kind of like, it's an incredible movie, but it still didn't hit me the way it hit everybody else. Because one thing I can say, I tell people who know me, I don't make the same mistake twice. Now, if I see a movie, it's in the middle, I just turn it off because I ain't even trying to mess up the end. Next up, Protect.
Hold on. Real quick. I want to talk what Vern was saying about the arrogance on that joint, because he was like, when he said, "I thought I conquered the world, crushed Modi, Hammer, Ice-T's Curl, but still niggas want to instigate shit. I battle any nigga in the rap game quick. Name the spot, make it hot for you bitches. Female rappers too. Don't give a fuck. Come on, son. Come on, son. That's talking heavy. That's talking heavy. Yeah, I had to.
Right. Protect your neck. I got Jizza, Deck, Meth, and RZA. Jizza, first of all, who's your A&R, Mountain Climber, who plays an electric guitar, but he wouldn't know the meaning of dope. You know, just I feel like Jizza just dropped so many jewels in his verse just about the record industry. Like, just that was incredible. Again, I'll wait on giving out any other quotables because I want y'all to be able to get your shit off if these are your people. But my order is Jizza, Deck, Meth, and RZA. Rel, who you got for protecting that?
Yo, I got Deck, number one. This started the whole Deck starting off your song and killing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He did that on this joint. I ain't even listened to this song in a minute, but it's Deck, Jizza, for the reasons you said. Meth had a jump. Move it on your left. That was Meth, right? Yeah. Meth. And then I got Ray fourth. I got Raekwon fourth. Ray
Porsche.
Yeah.
I got Jizza at number 1, Method Man at number 2, RZA at number 3, and ODB at number 4. And
shit. ODB was damn.
What's going on, Rel? What is okay?
Because that's the one joint I ain't listened to on this list. I ain't listened to that song in a minute. I forgot. Damn. Yeah, all right. My
dirty bastard.
Rapping is what's happened. Niggas be rolling.
Yeah, he killed that. Damn. All right, go ahead. My bad,
You can revise your list, Rel. Would you like to?
Go ahead. I ain't gonna fuck with it, but damn, I forgot about.
No, you gotta say the rhyme that you came into the studio with. Kill just told you that.
Right. I gotta follow the rules. I gotta be a boys man nigga today. I can't be.
Nah. Change this. That shit was just for verses, man. Change this list as much as y'all want, man. As much as y'all niggas make me change my list from being on here. Change the list that however y'all want.
And then the lyric I love is when Jizza says, "That's what you get when you misuse what I invent. Your empire falls." Yeah, trying to blow up a scrub. Like, yeah, it's just everything that he says is dope. The whole song is dope. It's my second favorite posse cut of all time. So I love every single. I even love You God's verse, okay, but I didn't rank him before. So I'm just saying.
I'm not mad at that. Eddie, who you got, bro?
Yo, I got Rebel Lioness, and then just like that close. It's like grand opening, grand closing, man. It's like if you could design the perfect posse cut, someone to set it off and someone to wrap it up, the dopest, like that's it right there. So I got Rebel Lioness, I got Jizza, I got Method Man third, and Raekwon fourth. And of course, you know, I smoke on the mic like Smoker Joe Frazier, the Hellraiser, raising hell with the flavor, terrorize the jam like troops in Pakistan, swinging through your town like the neighborhood Spider-Man, swirl, tick tock, keep ticking. When I get you flipping off the shit that I'm kicking,
Yeah, that killed it. You know what I mean? Gnu, who you got up next?
All right. First of all, I think like every Wu-Tang song that they made was a posse cut, right?
Yeah, I was really kind of thinking about that.
Every song is a posse cut and shit. But for Protect Your Neck though, I gave Meth number 1, and I gave Meth number 1 because I feel like he had the most, to me, he had the most memorable verse. I like the way that he, you know, the way that he set it off. It's the Method Man, of course, Mr. Meth, moving on your left. It was like he had that like the harmonious flow, and I remember seeing an interview when Riz describing how he would, when he produced for Method Man, how he described Method Man's style. He said like Method Man rhymes like he's like deflecting. You know what I mean? Like you could hear that on Protect Your Neck. So he got the number 1 spot for me. The number 2 spot I gave to RZA, and I gave that to RZA because Wu-Tang, when I first heard Wu-Tang, or when I first heard Protect Your Neck, Prince Rakeem was the only cat that I really knew out of everybody else. I was like, yo, who the fuck? Well, I remember the Jizza from Come Do Me when he was the Genius, right. But I was like, I didn't know who the other niggas was, but I remember Prince Rakeem, and I was like, oh shit, Prince Rakeem got these cats rhyming with him and this and that. But when he said, it's 10 o'clock, ho, where the fuck you see that? I don't know if everybody remember those commercials back in the day that would come on and would say, it's 10 p.m. But where your children are. You know what I mean? So always once again that was a line that always stuck out to me. And like I said, I remember Rakeem from We Love You, Rakeem, and he had a song called Sexcapades that they would play on this radio station called PRB around our way. So yeah, RZA number 2 with that. Number 3, I gave it to INS because I felt like he was probably, his verse was probably slated to be first. Like nobody else had the verse that could like set it off. You know what I mean? In the way that he did, and especially when he said the line, "Swinging through your town like the neighborhood Spider-Man." That was like, damn, like oh shit. So I gave that number 3 spot to INS. Number 4, I gave the Old Dirty. After Redman and Busta, Old Dirty Bastard would probably be. Well, after that, he became like my number 3rd favorite rapper of all time on my list. So his style was crazy, especially when he said, I'll be sticking pins in your head like a fucking nurse. And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't really catch it when the nurses stick pins in your head, but okay. I'm thinking he talking about a witch doctor or something like that. I don't know, or like what do you call like those voodoo dolls when they stick? I didn't really get that line, but that shit always like stuck in my head. I like the way he said it. Also, he also had the harmonious flow with the niggas be rolling. He had all that going on like meth. So that's why I liked his verse. Everybody's verse was dope, but I think those 4 verses were probably the most standouts to me on that song.
Bro, you got?
I'm gonna go Deck. He's like Ricky Henderson leading off. So it was perfect. Then Meth with his persona, small change. They putting shame in the game. Is like Gnu said, with the harmony and the flow and the charisma. Then I'm gonna go Jizza just for the science, and then I'm gonna finish with Dirty with the just dirty. I mean,
just dirty doing dirty.
Yeah,
Hey, I got one more thing I want to say about this joint, Protect Your Neck, is it really shows you how far Ghostface came. Because his verse was not memorable at all. Yeah. It was just like, and to what he has become since then,
I think then he hadn't mastered who he, like you said, who he was. He was just hollering, but then he fell into his persona of John, Tony Starks and all that stuff, and you can tell because it came out of his flow.
Right, man. Yeah. And one thing, one of my favorite lines from that, for like fame, my style will live forever. Niggas crossing over. They don't know no better. This is right there. Next up, we got Self-Destruction. Song that I don't even know if we can make this song right now. We need to make it.
Daddy trying though. Daddy from Stet. I think he's trying to make Self-Destruction Part 2. I follow him on IG.
Oh, okay. I mean, okay.
Nice.
What you say, Bert? What Aretha say? Nice dresses.
Yeah, beautiful gowns. I'm coming in with Light.
Here's
Hey, you skipped the song.
about-
You skipped the song, Kill.
I got them in order, and then I may have messed it up. But I'm
Okay. All right.
Hold up, tell me what it is. Let me make sure that
Watch for the Hook.
on my list.
Watch for the Hook.
Yeah, I got that coming up last.
Okay.
I'll push that to the back. You know I ain't forgetting about Watch for the Hook with you, man. You know I'm
Hey,
in
man,
every region.
I
West Coast, down south, no biases today. Self-destruction. I never really. Again, I loved this episode, and I challenge people to go at home to do this because it made me really listen. People who I didn't think had dope verses really actually had some good verses. You know what I mean? And I'm going with Light, Heavy D, The Light from Stetson Sonic, The Light, Cool Mo D, and Cool Mo D. Like I would have never thought that this. If you would just ask me off, like when people ask me shit on Twitter, and I specifically say just off the top, this lineup, what would have been Light and Heavy, but it definitely would have been The Light and Cool Mo D. If you just ask me off the top. Like, I mean, come on, Funky Fresh, Dressed in the Press, ready to party. You know what I mean? Just
what was your favorite Kumo D line from there?
I never ran from the Ku Klux Klan, and I shouldn't have to run from a black man. You know what I mean? Like, for me,
it was like he said he died a trifling death.
nah.
Yo, he said trifling in the verse. So who said no?
No. But it was. I remember when Cool Mo D said that, and at this time for people in '88, it was a lot of stick ups happening. You know what I mean? Like this was like stick up kid, time. So it's like, getting jumped. You know what I mean? All these things, like, you know what I mean? So when he said, yo, I never ran from the Ku Klux Klan, I shouldn't have to run from a black man. Like in '88, that like made me pause and think for a second, like, God damn, that is kind of like fucked up. Like, like a group of white men never chased you. It's a group of black people that's chasing you. So it kind of just had me stuck. So, but yeah, even when like Al she ends it, you ain't guarding the door, so what you got a gun for? You rob from the rich and get still to the poor, yo daddy. Show them some more. You know what I mean? So that's it. And then with The Light, it's like pop, pop, pop when it's shot, who's to blame? Headline, front page and raps, the name, MC The Light, here to state the bottom line. The black on black crimes was way before our time. Like, and I feel that way because, and one of the reasons I love that verse, because it's like a Chris Rock joke where he's like, niggas act like the hood wasn't bad before hip hop came. Like, people weren't getting killed in the hood before hip hop even exists. So I loved how The Light was like, the black on black crimes was way before our time. Because y'all just want to blame everything on hip hop. Everything is hip hop's fault. Everything, and so especially now, a lot of shit I can't say is rap's fault. I won't say hip hop, but back in those days, so I loved The Light, and I never would have thought that he would have made my top 4, but he did. Bro, who you got for Self-Destruction?
Number 1, I got Heavy D.
Yeah, Hev killed it.
That was at the doorstep, bum rushing. Let's get it together. We falling apart. I heard a brother shot another. It hurt my heart. Yeah, Heavy D, legendary. So, number 2 is Light. You know who wrote that, right? But
Well, let's get this straight.
Is that true? Before I say something I don't know about. Is that true?
LL wrote the first 4 bars. The Funky Fresh, Dressed in the Press, Ready to Party, then Dying to Move Your Body. LL wrote that. Russell at this time didn't want any of his artists that he managed to be on the song. So that's why LL's not on the song. That's why Run DMC is not in the song. Kane may have been managed by him at that time, but it was some hoopla that Russell was just doing. So L wanted to get somehow on the song. So
tribute.
Like he wrote Light's intro for that. And I'm going back and forth with people because people are like, oh, that's the dopest part of Light's verse. And again, Light didn't need the help. This was LL wanted to just be part of
I didn't say it like that.
Part of the song. I know.
Got you.
Yeah. She sure didn't need the help.
She didn't need the help, but it was just like, yo, let me write something just so I could be part of this. Since Russell won't let me be a part of this type thing. So,
right. Okay, so 3rd, and initially this was my favorite part back when I first heard it when I was young, and that was Wise and Daddy-O. Like that part was you do a crime and end up in jail and gotta go, because you could do crime and get paid today, then tomorrow you behind bars in the worst way. Far from your family. Do you really think crime pays, scheming on something that your brothers had? You little sucker, you talking all that jazz. That was fire. And 4, I would say Kumo D, and I was not a huge Kumo D fan, but he held it down on this joint.
Yeah.
Like he did his thing on this song. So I go with Kumo D at 4.
All right, Porsche, who you got, babe?
So for number 1, I have MC Light, of course. 2, I have Heavy D. 3, KRS, and 4, Dougie Fresh for me. I love when Dougie Fresh stops and then he boxes. And then
It was dope.
At first, I was like, "What just happened?" And then I was like, "He is so dope." So yeah, those are mine. And Light's verse, I don't even, the first part of the verse that LL wrote isn't even the standout part for me. Yeah, like she's just got so many bars in there that you could pick any of them. So yeah.
The funniest thing about being from Philly, all we care about is haircuts. So the funny thing is about this video with Dougie Fresh was this was the first time Dougie didn't have a Jerry curl. So when he took the hat off, I just remember being like, "Oh shit, Doug got the
you stupid."
Like, I'm just dead. Like, this is how much I pay attention to like haircuts being from Philly. That was the first time, because you go to cut that zero, Doug used to add a little Jerry curl up top. You know what I mean? So like,
too.
Yeah, that was like, yo, cut that zero. Don't even get me started on that. But yeah, love that. Eddie, what you got up next, bro? For Self-Destruction.
Yeah, I got Heavy D on top, man. He just sounds so natural on that, man. Like MC Light, she killed it. I'm with Rel, man. That Daddy O's and Y's, the back and forth, that shit was dope. And then I put Chris at 4th, KRS at 4th. And yeah, man, that line, therefore we must ignore fighting and fussing. Heavy D's at the door, so there'll be no bum rushing. Like, that shit was dope.
Yeah. All right, no doubt. Gnu, who you got, bro?
I had KRS as number 1, but when I think of his verse in comparison to the verses that follow, I'm like, nah, KRS didn't really kill it the way he didn't really leave you with nothing like no memorable quotes in there like everybody else did, man. But well, he's the one that isn't he the one that organized and put the whole thing together?
Yeah. So which is why Miss Melody is on there.
Right. That was his wife. But so yeah,
you gotta bring wifey on.
Right. So I put Chris at number 1. MC Light, I gave her number 2. Man, MC Light has always been nice. She's probably like my favorite female MC, man. Favorite female rapper, man. MC Light was just so dope. The fact that LL was, wrote the first couple bars and she finished it, like y'all said, she didn't need no help with that, man, because y'all know Light was a problem. Light was a beast. She had dudes afraid to rap with her, man. So number 3, I gave it to MC Delight, man. His verse was real short, but I just like the way that he delivered that. MC Delight hit it straight the bottom line. The black on black crime was like that flow was just like, damn. Like I think he hopped on that beat. What I liked about that song was the way that they incorporated everybody's song in there. Like when MC Light was rhyming, they had, her little I forget in there with Daddy O and Waz. They had talking all that jazz bass line. I mean, like everybody's part they had incorporated, like one of their records into the joint, man. Number 4, I gave to Dougie Fresh. I liked his overall his performance with the beatboxing behind it and all of that shit. I thought that Dougie Fresh killed it. He's like, and it doesn't make you a big man. And like that part, I forget how I went, but y'all know what I'm talking about. That was like.
I love the scenery of them being in the cemetery, and Marley being there with them. You know what I mean?
Like cameos is like everybody who was anybody was at that video shoot, and I remember MTV Raps Fat Five Freddy was like on the scene, like the show was dedicated to that video, and then they showed like the video at the end. I'm showing my age right now, but I remember when they had that episode on Yo MTV Raps, man. The self-destruction joint.
Yo, Gnu. So since you mentioned that that verse, that Dougie Fresh verse, you know, on the listening, Little Brother was interpolating that Dougie Fresh verse. On
what?
What's the joint? Fabulous on the listening.
You're right.
Oh,
Yeah, they kind of interpolated that whole Dougie Fresh verse on there.
I don't know the what you referring to, but
Little Brother's first album.
Little
Brother's first album. Yeah, Fonte and Big Pooh.
First album.
Yeah, okay. And they got a joint on there called So Fabulous, and it's not just his. They interpolate other like famous verses and stuff like that. But it was interesting that they, out of all the verses on Self-Destruction, they picked that one. Dougie Fresh verse.
Right. I gotta listen to it now.
Shout out D Nice on the beat, who made it.
He produced that, right?
Yeah, D Nice produced that. Vern, what you got, bro?
Hey, Gnu, when you were talking about Delight, a thought came in my head. To me, he's the precursor to Dot X. If you listen to like the cadence, go back and just listen to it. And it just hit me while we were sitting here. Let me see. Self-Destruction. I'm gonna go on Heavy D first. Light, like she jumped in. Even she in the video, she's like, "Funky Fresh." You know, that was just so dope. Then I'm gonna go Delight, and I'm gonna finish it up with Mo D, because like you could tell like Delight and Mo D were the elder statements, and they were kind of really upset with the state of things that were going on. So they came more heavy-handed because they were kind of disgusted with what was happening. So those are my four.
Now here's the thing, just like I've done with Ace and the Jungle Brothers, we've mentioned Delight, we've mentioned Daddy-O and Wise. Somebody out there is like, who the fuck is Delight, Daddy-O and Wise? They're called Stetson Sonic. Now, Stetson Sonic, 2 huge albums. First one, On Fire. Probably a top 25, top 30 fave album ever of me. I used to spend my summers in Brooklyn. When that shit came out, Go Stetson 1, you talking about a fucking Brooklyn anthem. Go Stetson 1, Paradise Gray talks about in this book about the Latin Quarters. You play Go Stetson 1 at the Latin Quarters, niggas are getting robbed. That was an anthem. Their biggest song probably will be off their second album in Full Gear, either Sally, some people don't like the way Sally walks, or Talking All That Jazz.
Yeah.
Jazz, that was my shit.
Yes, sir.
All That Jazz is very dope. What's up, man?
What was that? Prince Paul produced for them, right?
Yeah, he was in a group.
Well, it was a group of pictures. It was a group of people. So Stetson Sonic was Daddy-O, Wise, Fuquan, Delight, DBC, who was the beatbox, and Prince Paul, who was the DJ/producer. So Daddy-O produced for them too. So Daddy-O, you know, to give him his props, he's a producer too. But it was a 6-man group: Daddy-O, Wise, Fuquan, Delight, Prince Paul, and DBC. Definitely check it out. One of my favorite songs from them is this joint called Faye off the first album, On Fire. So, just people were wondering who Daddy-O and Wise and Delight are.
First hip-hop band, too.
First hip-hop band. Before the Roots, it was Stetson Sonic. So, everybody, go do your homework on that. Y'all ain't catching me with no West Coast bias on this show, so we are going with We're All in the Same Game. Woo! Like hearing everybody from LA talk about any bullshit about West Coast bias. So, let's get this. Number 1, I got Ren and Dre, similar to Daddy-O and Wise, because they went back and forth for their verse. I got Def Jeff.
Yes.
People forget about Def
Jeff. Yes.
I got, next up, I got Humpty Hump. And then fourth, I got King T. So Ren and Dre, and I love the way that Dre, I love Ren's flow when he does that. So he says, we're not here to preach because we're not ministers. We're here to tell like it is, because Ren and Dre is like sinister. I just loved how Ren used to do that quick little, because Ren and Dre is like sinister. So they just, and similar to Self-Destruction, the beat would change every time somebody got on it. You know what I mean? So even when Humpty Humpty, they kind of had the Humpty dance with the in the background of their beat. So very dope song. So Rel, who you got? What order for We're All in the Same Game? You muted, bro.
Number 1, my bad. Number 1, I got Eazy-E. My baby ain't never hurt nobody, but he still got smoked that baby. Yeah. Easy was that dude. I ain't even expect him to be on that song, to be honest. So when I heard it, I was like, okay. Number 2, I got Humpty, man. His part was fire. The little switch up. I like that.
And I love the fact that he's actually trying to talk to himself. Like, here's the funny thing to me about Humpty Hump. And again, here's the thing that I want everybody to realize. We're saying R.I.P. to way too many people on the show. That's number one. We have been saying R.I.P. almost throughout the whole entire show. We didn't talk about Fife's verse on Buddy, but R.I.P. to Fife. I feel like we've lost so many people throughout this time. You know, it's like, oh man, you know, God bless the dead, Craig Mack. I'm with you, can I said Craig Mack. You know, God bless the dead with Humpty Hump. But to this day, it's so funny because I didn't know people didn't know that Shock G and Humpty Hump were the same person.
Hey, stop. No, they are not the same person.
So, but I loved it in the song because they're talking to each other like they're different people. You know what I mean? So I love, and again, I know hip hop can never go back here, but this is what I loved about the innocence of it. You could be silly. The Humpty dance was the shit. If you were at a party in 1990 in a house party, I don't care where you were, from Oakland to North Philly, if you throw the Humpty Hump on, niggas is gonna be, before they rob you, the stick up kids is gonna be doing the Humpty Hump.
Who was doing the Humpty Hump? Who was doing the Humpty Hump in the video?
Tupac. So I mean, you literally, this is just when hip hop was fun. You could have some dude with a nose on, and you know, it was just all good, and I miss that about hip hop. I truly do. But yeah, I'm sorry, Real. Did you even finish? I'm sorry.
That was my second. My second was Humpty.
Right, Humpty.
Yo, my third was Above the Law. They went back and forth. Their part, if you don't remember it, go back and listen to it. Their part was fire. And fourth, man, surprise, Young MC, man, he kind of snapped on that joint.
Here's the wildest part, bro. A lot of corny niggas actually sounded pretty good on this.
Yes, he snapped.
Hammer's part wasn't bad. Loke's part wasn't bad.
Hammer.
I can't say.
They kind of.
I'm not mad.
Hammer came hard though.
I gotta be honest, man. I like Young MC's verse on that joint.
But you know what that shows me, bro? That shows me that over the right production, people who may have sounded corny sound dope. You know what I mean? Because if you would, again, just off the top, I would have been like, Young MC, you know, because I haven't heard this song in years. I can't tell you the last time I heard We All in the Same Game. Easily over 20 years. So there's no way in my stratosphere that I would have been like, if I would have listened to the song recently and y'all was only talking about Young MC sounding dope, I would have been like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Y'all niggas bugging. But yo, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Young MC coming in. Yeah. Not mad at that. Yeah. Porsche, what about you, babe?
I got King T at number 1. Shock
T set it off nice.
Yeah. And Shock G at number 2. Eazy-E at number 3, and Dre and Ren at number 4. And yeah, I mean, I didn't pull any lyrics from this, but Shock G's entire verse is my favorite line of the whole song. Like, I just love, and it's exactly what you and Rel were talking about. Like, he talks to himself, and it's funny because it perpetuates that whole. I think he's a silly guy. Like, he has fun with hip hop, and I love that about him because people don't know if Shock G and Humpty Hump are the same person. Like, we're talking, there are people who don't know, and then he's talking to himself, and he's perpetuating that narrative. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, you just got screwed with everybody now, you know? So yeah, that's my rankings.
Y'all never seen them in the same room at the same time, man. So stop putting this, perpetuating this.
Again, another RIP Shock G. And like you said, King T, I mean, he sets it off. Straight up madness everywhere that I look. Used to be a straight A student. Now he's a crook. You know what I mean? So he just set that off like that. Eddie, what you got for yours, bro?
Yeah, man. I got Shock G / Humpty Hump coming in first. Like I love how he did it back and forth with himself, right? Like we all saying, but it's dope. You know what I mean? It's just like two separate MCs. King T coming in at second. All the reason y'all said, like he said it off dope, like hard verse, man. I got Above the Law coming in third, like for all the reasons Rel said, man. Like their back and forth was really dope. And speaking of back and forth, that's the reason why I got Dre and Ren at fourth. I feel like Dre and Ren did it dope, but I feel like Above the Law did it a little doper. You know what I mean? They're back and forth. Right. So, and yeah, man, and Shock G, Humpty Hump, the whole do what you like unless you like gangbanging. I thought that was dope because, you know, the whole do what you like, that was their joint, you know what I mean? So,
right. No doubt. Gnu, what you got for yours?
Number one, I had Humpty Hump. For all the reasons everybody else was saying, man. I used to like Digital Underground. Humpty Hump was my man. Shock G. I always thought he had the ill name because of G Shocks. You know what I mean? Back in the day, man. So, I gave Humpty number one, just for the back and forth and the creativeness, and had the Humpty bass line in there. All that was dope. Number two, I gave to King T, of course, because his King T was nice, man. I used to fuck with King T, man, and later on he put the Alcoholics on. Exhibit came through him as well. I gave Hammer number three, and I gave him number three because his verse to me was like the most shocking, man. Like, we all know that Hammer he wasn't known for his rhymes, but I feel like Kill, like you were saying, with the right production, he could come out sounding great, man. And I feel like that was like the hardest verse I ever heard Hammer kick, man. It was on some straight street shit, man. Just just the way that he kicked it, man. People know the add back a quarter to nine. Like that shit was like, oh man. And on this tip, they had a deal set. Like Hammer was putting it down. He was spitting some real game at you like that. And I never heard Hammer approach a song like that. He was, I was used to him doing the dance tracks, so it was very surprising for me. So I was like, damn. So that made me respect Hammer. Huh?
You know what's funny? I think, again, y'all know me. It's trickled over to my job. We start every meeting with what's the goal? I think like with Hammer, maybe on his own shit, like the goal was, pop songs, sell records, we dancing. I think the goal for this wasn't to do that. So it's like I could do my regular shit. I could do what I used to do, like kind of when I be like, yo, Meg Thee Stallion is whack, and niggas be like, yo, you need to hear Meg before she got signed. Like there's always this before somebody got signed, they could really spit, and then they get signed, and then Rel knows Cassidy. You know what I mean? We talk about this all the time. While you're signing all these street rappers like Fab and Cassidy and Kiss, but then you make them do radio records. You know what I mean? So if you only know Cassidy's radio records, you would never even think that this dude was no battle rapper who never took an L and all that. So I think when we're talking about Tone Loc and Young MC and all these people who are usually signed to these labels that are trying to Delicious Vinyl is trying to, cater that pop market, that this was an opportunity for them to kind of just maybe do necessarily not what the label wanted to do or even what they want to do, but just could kind of, and again, it's really about the beat, because if the beat wasn't dope and it was, over Can't Touch This, Hammer just would have been saying that a lot faster. So I think that could be it, you know what I'm saying? And your fourth person, Good News, who you got for number four?
Above the Law. I feel like they was slept on. They was They was on in WA.
It was on Ruthless.
Yeah. On that label, but they would do records with them too, man. But I felt like they never really got. Well, I mean, I'm sure on the West Coast they got their flowers, but just over here we ain't really give Above the Law.
No. Yeah, and Nick Balloon, he ride hard for them. Nick.
Yeah, because they was popping down here, bro.
Yeah.
It ain't what you know, it's what you can prove. Yeah, untouchable. Yeah, we roll for Above the Law. Yeah.
Right. Vern, who you got, bro?
Before I go there, it's funny that I thought about this after everybody's talking in surprise about Hammer. Hammer is probably one of the most gangster niggas on the whole track.
Right. Right.
Ask Short Dog and ask some of them other niggas about Hammer's gangster. I mean, he was a real gangster. Like, will end you. You know, make a phone call and you done. But that's just funny though. But I'm gonna go Def Jef 1, Humpty 2, Above the Law 3, and Hammer 4.
Yeah.
Def Jef was another step-on artist from the West Coast. I used to rock with him. It was Def Jef and the Soul Brothers or something, I think. Like the dance. He had like a crew with dancers.
Yeah, I remember that. He brought the one who brought Shaq out.
Okay. Def Jef, I mean, because the way he sets it off, one and the same, everyone came in the same chains, called the same aim brain games, names changed. I was like, God. And the way he came out the projects and the people dancing his dances, dancing around him, and just dope. And Def Jef really set it off. Next up, we got Heavy D's Don't Curse. One, to me, I love the video because I love how everybody had their own room. Like, and they're just going from room to room to room, represented kind of who that person was. I'm going with Tip, CL, G-Rap, and Hev, which is surprising to me because, again, just off the top, I probably would have told you Pooba would have been my number one. But to be honest, I really didn't even love Pooba's verse on it. It was dope, but it wasn't, you know, but again, just off the top, I would be like, oh, Pooba killed it, put Pooba up there. But when Tip came in with Flim, Flam, Flaw, my big black stuff, you had to curse to be rough like that right there. And then with the whole, because the Bum Diddly Have is a favor of my mom. Like, so Tip just killed it. CL, I was shocked. Like, go ahead, ask me what I curse in a verse. So I say nope. Grab you by your hand, wash your mouth out with soap. Like, that was crazy to me. So I got Tip, CL, G-Rap, and Hev. Bro, who you got?
I got G-Rap, number one. Just him being on a song called Don't Curse. And he even said, then he said, I put a curse in every verse. You know what I mean? Like, and then Tip, that part you said, that shit was hilarious to me. Like, Flim, Flam, Flim, lick my big black stuff. I was like,
right.
It was fire. I got Hev at 3, and I got Pooba at 4.
All right, Portia, you got, babe?
I got G-Rap at number 1, Heavy D at number 2, Pain at number 3, and CL at number 4. And my favorite line in that is every word that you heard is because I didn't give a F off shots. Ayo, I almost forgot. I just love that. So, yeah.
All right, Eddie, what you got, bro?
All right, I got Heavy D going first, G-Rap second, Q-Tip third, and I'll say Pooba edges it out. And I know I play this song. Gray loves this song. Then he kind of likes the Pooba verse, the Koof.
Right.
Yeah, and Hev, like, I don't know, man. He had 2 verses on that joint, man. But the whole I could rock a party without a swear I could rock a party without a swear or harsh word backwards. The curse words, Heavy D prefers. Like, his whole flow on that last verse, like, I like his first verse. That whole flow on that last verse, the way he ended it was like really dope and like wrapped it up. So, but yeah, it was just G-Rap was more like the ironic, like you want to expect him, even though like Kill always says that first G-Rap album had no curses on it. But after that, it was,
yeah. It's almost like saying in 1989 Eddie Murphy gonna do a stand-up with no cursing. Like, it'd be like, I ain't gonna go see that. Like, that ain't gonna be no fun. Gnu, who you got for yours, bro?
All right, so before I start though, didn't Pete Rock have a verse on that song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Beat at a verse.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So my number one, I gave the G-Rap. I liked his verse the best just because of his flow. When he says something like, "I got outrageous, did a record how I'm doing on my BITCHs," like that.
Right.
I like, to me, like, you know what I mean. G-Rap was he ripped that, man. Like his flow and all that on there, he destroyed that. But number two was Tip, of course, with the Flim. No, my joint with Q-Tip says, he says, if I had 4 girls, then I lick 8 tits. I was like, oh shit, okay, I feel you. Yeah.
You do like, I feel that 4 girls right on my alley, nigga. You verse of the year.
I don't think he said shit. I think he said
you work for this, so that would have been hip hop combo of the month.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he censored himself, though. I think he said, I might have said bits instead of tits, but you know.
Oh, what?
Something like that. Yeah. I mean, you clearly knew what he meant anyway. So.
Right. All right. Number three, I gave to Pete Rock. At the time, I don't know. I just thought, you know, back then, Pete Rock, you know, everybody know he was the DJ and the producer, but he could spit too. I don't know if he was writing that stuff, man. But Pete Rock was he hit you with the dope.
He wasn't writing it. He wasn't.
He
Writing
hit you the dope scene though, son. Well, at least he delivered.
He was like Dr. Dre. He was like Dre.
Yeah.
He was like Dre.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. But I like, you know, when he said, "I can't curse because Heavy D says so." Like he just, I like Pete's flow on that joint, man. So he was number 3 for me, and 4 was Pooh Bah.
All right, no doubt. Vern, what you got for this joint?
Heavy D, Q-Tip, G-Rap, and Pete Rock.
Nice.
Right?
I love to hear it, you guys.
Next up, we got one of my favorite posse cuts. Well, I'd say one of my favorite beats. Stranded on Death Row.
Oh,
I'm going Corrupt, Snoop, Rage, and RBX.
that was a hard ass song.
Let me tell y'all, when I talk about Corrupt's verse on this,
Yeah.
man, enough respect like a sensei, whoop ass like Van Damme.
Damn. Yeah.
So any nigga claiming they bossing, why don't you bring your ass over Crenshaw?
Woo.
Yo, thinking of whooping some ass, so what the fuck stopping you? Like, yo, it was just like this. Whenever like this Corrupt, like what is this? 92 Corrupt, like 92, 93 Corrupt. Man, oh yeah. So yeah, Corrupt, Snoop, Rage, and RBX. Rel, who you got?
Corrupt number 1, man. He was on some other shit, man. I was trying to find. He was saying, because it's Death Row rolling like the mafia, thinking about whooping some ass, but what's stopping you? Ain't nothing but a buster. I'm stranded on Death Row, pumping slugs and motherfucker. Yo, he was he was going crazy. So I got Corrupt 1, 2. I got Rage. I feel like Rage snapped on that joint, man. Like,
Yeah.
I used to like her. I don't know what happened to her career and all that, but I thought she.
I just think like by the time her album was about to come, it's that problem when you got this one producer trying to produce. You know, same thing with RZA, same thing with the Beat Mind. When you got like this one producer, and if you taking a year per album, then Dre leaves Death Row, and you know what I mean. So it just, like I always wonder, because I mean I make so many beats. I've always wondered if Dre or any of these producers were like that, where you could have just been like, okay, I got enough beats for every fucking body. You know what I mean? Like, everybody pick y'all beats right now. This is gonna be your next album. We'll put it out when it is, but you're gonna get that shot. I would have loved a Dog Pound album produced by a 92, 93 Dre. You know what I mean? And that Rage album by a 92, 93 Dre. You know, we got the Snoop, and we see what Doggy Style was. So if you could imagine that same Dre doing the Dog Pound and a Rage album, man. You know,
you see, I feel like Dr. Dre, like he seems to me like such a perfectionist that he's not going to have the same level of output as another producer, because it's like he takes time to craft it, right? As opposed to another producer just cranking it out. Like, you know, he's very meticulous is the word I'll go for.
Yeah, so I had her number 2. I feel like she killed that. I had Snoop 3, RBX 4, and you know, I feel like all of them went crazy on it. That beat is like, that beat is like, that's one of the hardest beats, bro. Like that shit make you want to fight or something, man. That shit is crazy.
Yo, bro, when you come over here, I'm gonna play what the OG is from. It's crazy what Dre used for that.
Oh, really? And you know, so crazy. And this is like with a lot of Dre shit. When you play that shit is loud and clear as a motherfucker. Like that shit just sounds crazy, bro.
Bro,
like,
here's the crazy thing. I don't even want to wait. He sampled Isaac Hayes live at the Sahara, and it's not even real music. It's the crowd. Like the song hasn't even started, and it's the crowd. That's why you kind of hear this high shriek. It's literally the crowd. Like it's not even part of this. Dre lost it on that, and you mix that in with the guitar licks from So What You Saying, and then them drum. Oh my god!
You caught that, or somebody pointed that out to you?
I caught it once I got the record.
Okay.
I was living in Atlanta. I used to go digging at this spot, and I got the Isaac Hayes live from the Sahara. I'll pull it, and when you put it on, you'll hear it. Like if your ears, like you'll hear it, like. You know what I mean? But it's just the fact that, so it's not like one of those Dilla, like you wouldn't know it, but it's just the fact
right.
like, yo, you use like, it's no music yet, bro. Like you're literally just using like the intro of the crowd, and this is what you came up with? Like, it's just like, I was just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So yeah, it's a crazy track. Porsche, what you got up?
Kill, I think my ranking matches yours exactly.
Okay.
I have Corrupt, Snoop, Lady of Rage, and RBX. And exactly Corrupt at number one for the same reasons you guys just mentioned. His lines are crazy. They're just, it's Corrupt.
Yeah.
It's Corrupt. It's everything I love about Corrupt. So, yeah.
Yeah, everybody on one of the West Coast bias, Ice Cube, okay. Everybody wants to say I'm West Coast bias, Ice Cube in the building. Everybody.
There we go.
Eddie, what you got up next, man?
Yo, man, I might be on an island, man, but I'm going Snoop first. I'm going Snoop, then Corrupt, then Rage, and then RBX. So I feel like, I don't know what order they did their verses, but I feel like if Corrupt did his verse and Snoop heard it, like I feel like Snoop was rapping like he had a fire lit on him, you know? Like I felt it, and there's some magic with Snoop and Dre. It's just he ended it, and trust me, like if it's just you know the way Corrupt sets it off, you easily be like, man, he killed it. But like I said, man, Snoop had that fire under him.
Yeah, man, he was styling.
This is the joint right here, bro. It's live at the Sahara.
Okay. Yeah,
I got this when I was living this is like 97, living in Atlanta. Used to go digging at the spot, Red Beans and Rice.
Red Beans and Rice. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yep, Red Beans and Rice. I keep forgetting you in Atlanta, but yeah, I used to shop there all the time and found that. But yeah, that shit's crazy. Gary, Gnu, what you got for your joint, man?
Oh, well, my name is Gary too.
Yeah, my bad. I'm so used to calling you Gnu. I try not to do government. You know what I mean? So.
Nah, I'm fucking with you, Kill. Number one, man, I gave to Corrupt, man. Just because it just all around, like his shit was just so solid, man. But I like when he be like, ain't nothing but a buster. Like that shit. Pumping slugs and motherfuckers, like Rel said. But
and you believed it too. Like I felt like that Corrupt. Like it wasn't like, oh, this nigga talking shit. When that nigga said, why don't you bring your ass over to Crenshaw and Slauson? It's like that's an open invitation, nigga.
Bro, I said on a previous show, that West Coast shit, that slang and shit, I got caught up in. I was saying all that shit. I was calling it.
Yeah, that was. Especially after plus oh yeah, number two I gave to RBX.
Yeah.
I like when he says to the heat and get burnt like mesquites. Like that line right there, he delivered that, man. Also, when he said, "In this dimension, I'm the presenter and the tormentor," like that RBX, I think he was slept on. I really wish we could have got an album from him, man. Like, damn, what happened, RBX?
Got lost in the shuffle, man.
Yeah. Number 3, I gave to Snoop. You know, he was like the most popular at the time on the joint, man. But when he would dip into that singing part, I'm not
man.
What they don't know about the DLG, like that shit was like woo.
Yeah, man, he killed that.
And 4 went to Rage for me, man. Another one. I mean, I think Rage did have an album, but I don't really, I can't really remember the album. It wasn't what Doggy Style was.
Yeah, it's what Preem had a joint on there, but again, it was just past that.
It was too late.
Time of the business. It seems like a lot of business would fall apart because of the time structure of making these albums. You know what I mean? Because we're still in the 90s where you're usually taking 9 months to make an album.
Yeah, it would take a year to make it.
Yeah, you did the Chronic, you did Doggy Style. By this time, somebody's mad at somebody, so somebody's leaving the label, and you know. And then again, Dre's the only producer, so it's kind of just like, you know, it's gone. You know what I mean? Vern, who you got?
I got Snoop number 1 for why the same reason that Gnu talked about. I love how he styled on it, man.
Yeah.
RBX number 2, man. His voice was just so booming, man. Like a West Coast gangster brother Jay. Just distinct. Right. You can hear he can enunciate it. Then I'm going Rage. And then Philly/Cali Corrupt, man.
Alright. One of the things I loved about Snoop's verse when that nigga said Warren G is my hand and my hands on the trigger. Like, that shit was just crazy to me, man. Just a little more things because I always get accused on the timeline. West Coast bias. Come on, y'all. Q. 6-4. Come on. Thanks to my little sis Porsche Pot. Come on, y'all. The West Coast bias. Yeah, I fucking love the West.
And that look like that's Jerry Curl Cube in that joint, ain't it?
Well, nah, this bald head. This the bald head. Okay. It was a good day.
Oh, okay. I see the bandana. Okay, I thought that was a Jerry tripping right there.
Next up, we got All About the Benjamins. Gnu, you know this is Morgan. This is hearing it on cool tapes. You know, way before anybody ever heard anything about the Benjamins. I'm going Big, Kim, Kiss, and Chic. Big left my East Coast girl, my Bentley to twirl, my West Coast shorty. Pushed the Chrome 740, rocking Red Man and Naughty. All in my kitty cat, half a brick of yay, and a brawl with a titties.
Yeah, that was very dope,
bro. And then how the whole beat changed to the Jackson 5 sample just for Big. Yeah, so that's who I got. Rel, who you got in what order?
Yo, man. Number 1, I got Chic Luch, man. Acting hard when you was pussy as RuPaul. Yo, man. Chic went crazy.
He banged out.
That's one of Chic's shining moments, bro. Like I had to give him 1 on that joint, man. Chic went crazy. 2, I'm gonna go with Big. Of course, for all the you said some of the lines. I'm gonna go with Kim, and I'm gonna go with Puff for 4.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm mad at it. You revise it.
Duck. I'm gonna tell you why.
Puff.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Yo, when I think of the Benjamins, I'm like, yo, what y'all want to do? Want to be ballers, shot callers, ball like that shit set that off. I mean, as much as I hate Puff, I can't front on.
Hey man,
it's all about the Benjamins. What I keep half a pound do for the mutts.
Hey bro,
average with the cuts. Woo! I'm not even gonna hold you, man.
He ran an era, bro. I mean, don't like him. He wasn't an MC, but like you said last week, he was a great idea guy, and he inserted himself in some of the most classic moments in hip hop. But I'm stepping on you, Rail. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you good, bro. I mean, whoever wrote it for him, you know what I'm saying.
Jadakiss wrote that, right?
Kiss wrote it. Kiss wrote it, and he recited it very well. He recited what Kiss wrote very well. He did a good job of reciting.
Yes, Puff. Shout out to you for your recitation, Puff. Okay?
And
Riot, shout out Apartment 5.
I think why I picked it over Kiss verse because I don't think Kiss verse was as memorable as he usually his verses usually are on songs. Like it wasn't whack or nothing, but it wasn't as memorable. Like I remember Puff's verse written by Kiss portion.
Right.
I remember it was memorable. It started the song off, and it, when you hear it, you repeating a lot of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But number one for me was definitely Chic. I think Chic, that was his shining moment to me. So,
with Kiss with me, man, one of my favorite cars back in the day was the Act Bigger. So that nigga says drinking malt liquor, driving a broke nigga, or that you see through. That's why nobody ever gonna believe you. You should do what we do. Check tips like I ain't saying that, but yeah, don't say that. Don't you do that. We are not doing that today. Porsche, what you got, babe?
I got Lil' Kim at number 1. I got Big at number 2. I got Chic at number 3 and Jada at number 4. And to me, like, you guys are saying that Puff's line is the most memorable, or it's like...
No, I didn't say it was the most.
Sorry, it's just what you think of when the Benjamins come up, that line resonates. Mine is Kim's, the way she starts off that verse. So, you want to bubble with the B-Hop, just throw a hex on your whole family. Like, I just absolutely love that.
Like the Omen.
Yeah, she's just amazing. I absolutely love Lil' Kim, and that was her era. So, I got Kim at number 1.
All right, Betty, who you got?
Yo, I got Biggie at number 1, Kim at number 2, Jadakiss 3rd, and Chic 4th. And I'm not the only one thinking this. Where the hell was Styles P?
They asked him that in the interview. I think he said he wasn't around or he wasn't in the studio or something like that. I forgot what it was, but
yeah, man. Since Kill, you mentioned the part of the verse, Biggie verse. Well, the other part, I'll say when he's like, "Fuck the state pen, fuck hoes at Penn State. Listen close to Francis, the band mantis. Attack with the Mac, my left hand spit, right hand grip on the whip. For a smooth getaway, player haters get away with my level spray." Like, goddamn, man.
It was. I mean, it's Kyrie. It's Kyrie.
And then that Kim verse, like Portia said, like the way she set that shit off, and then towards the end of that, it said, all that bullshit you kicking, play hate from the sidelines, get your old shit, why you clocking mine? She killed that.
Dude, what you got, bro?
I got Biggie at number 1 for obvious reasons. That verse was just a flawless verse. But Sheik Luch's verse on that, I think that he killed it. I love when he said gangsta mental, stay popping Cristal, like woo.
Cristal and the act with the dark brown.
Pinky ringing. Yeah, Sheik Luch. Number 3, I gave to Kim. Like Eddie was just saying, she had a lot of dope lines in there. And Puffy at number 4. His even though Kiss wrote it, you know what I mean? Like you said, the way Puff delivered that, he set it off. Like Kill was saying, like when you think of the Benjamins, you think of Puffy line, wanna be shot callers, brawlers.
Yo, and the way that shit used to
with
bang
all
in
this
the club. Like it's being in the club with the Benjamins on, when that shit used to come on, it's such a whole different atmosphere, stratosphere that's different than just listening to it in the crib. Like it just goes up a whole nother level in the club, man. As soon as that beat drops, you know what I mean? And everybody in all fucking unison. What y'all want to do? Like, I mean, you literally could turn the people probably sing the whole fucking song as is if you in the club. You can just turn the fader off and just everybody gonna be singing.
Yeah.
Vern, what you got, bro?
I got number 1, Queen Bee. She was in her full glory, in her persona. Like, she just leaned all the way into it. Number 2, Chic, man. Hey, that nigga went for it, bro.
Yeah.
3, I'm gonna go Big, and then 4, Jada.
All right.
I got a question.
Next.
I got a question. What was? Because I heard Missy Elliott has a vocal arrangement credit for that song, and I'm trying
I
to
heard
figure.
that too.
Yeah, I want. Anybody heard that?
I
heard something about it, but I never did the research on what it may be. But I will look it up after this because I would love to know what that is.
Yeah.
Next up, we got one of my favorite remixes ever, the Scenario remix, Tribe Called Quest. I'm going with Kid Hood, Fife, Charlie Brown, and Busta. Kid Hood, I'm wild like Larry Davis.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, this is 1992, 93. This is not Smack DVD. It's not YouTube. Most people didn't even know who the fuck Larry Davis was. When that nigga said, I'm wild like Larry Davis, I was like, oh, this nigga's different. And then the way he ended it with, I'm a bad, bad man. Because when it starts off with Busta talking like 6 with your spiritual form, 1 with your spiritual essence, it's like, you know, again, it's 92. I don't the fuck that means, spiritual essence. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, like, you know, and he goes by the name of Hood, and the way that he just goes in.
Man, that nigga went off.
This is not no native tongue type nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and again, I always say, could y'all imagine a Kid Hood album produced by a 93 Q-Tip? Like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, you thinking about what Tip was giving Mobb Deep and a Kid Hood album. And I mean, I'm not saying this in no type of way, shape, or form, but Kid Hood was a wild type Keith Murray-ish type street hood nigga. Not saying he was not. Nowhere saying that, but just the tip. I just wonder what that would have happened if Hood didn't die. And
but let me ask you this though: have you heard any other verses besides Scenario remix from Kid Hood?
Nah. It was like, from what I heard, he did this verse and he was living in a group home and like got stabbed or something, got killed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, he got killed before the song even came out. So like, you know, that's the thing. You know, you did the verse and you died, so we never got it. But it's just, again, like, from what he did on this, like, yo, you getting with Q-Tip, like I said, 93 Q-Tip producing your shit, man. So, Hood, Fife, C Brown, and Busta. Rel, who you got?
Yo, I got the exact same order.
Yeah.
Kid Hood though, like, blew my mind when I was like, who is this? How did he wind up on this song?
Yeah.
Like, he was so different from everybody. When he said, what did he say? Death on a phono, my skills are porno. You say, oh no, I'm not gonna say what he.
Right. Don't you do it.
I said, yo, he was talking crazy on that. Reckless. Yeah, Brett, like, yo, I was like, yo, who is this dude? But he is.
And it was so far from the native tongue sound.
Yes.
Like, it was so far. It was like, yo, who let this nigga in? Like, this is the nigga, like, you having your birthday party, like some wild nigga in there. Your mother's like, yo, is this one of your friends? This one you every day after school? Like, who the fuck is this? This nigga done took a piss in the side of the house, and you know, but Kid Hood was a problem.
Dude said, lay down your wages on wild like Larry Davis. Extra. Pick up the clip, say its ass out the frame, and grab my yo, he was wilding on that joint, man. And then Fife did his thing on his verse, like he floated. He like floated the most on that joint to me. You know what I'm saying?
So do like Michael Jackson. Remember the time. Put on your remember. Because you sure
can't rhyme. Punching out hits like Gladys Knight in the pit. Yeah.
Oh, that line. I love that line.
Yeah. Fife was killing it, man. And I had
Charlie for the ad-lib burn. I caught that. You remember? I appreciate
that. That was nice, though. I heard that too.
Bird came right in on time. I said, there you go.
Word.
We ain't even rehearsed this week.
You know why that part is memorable? Because my sister ain't no hip hop head, but she loved Michael Jackson. So she in my car and she heard that. She was like, oh, you know. It called her.
Yeah. Charlie Brown third. what he said, remix Mad Kicks more than Metallica. Something like Battlestar Galactica.
Damn.
Yeah, people all over the world. Pick a style. Strong guy.
Yeah.
That was hard.
Yeah, it is, baby Paul. Like, and then ending it with that, with there it is, baby Paul. Man.
Then I had Tip 4.
Okay.
8 Black Brothers in the Public. Yeah, I had that. So that's my 4th.
P, who you got?
I got Offset number 1, Kid Hood number 2, Fife 3, and Q-Tip 4. And Rel said my lyric from Fife. It's the punching out hits like Gladys Knight in the Fits. The 5-foot assassin has just created your area. Yeah.
Super dope. That's the reason I'm hearing you. So, I'm telling you, G.
Vanilla Ice Platinum, that shit's ridiculous. My French profanity is all I knew. So you other MCs, they yo, fuck you too. Yo, step two. You better off calling D Nice to your rescue. Freestyle Fanatic, probably the best round MCs like Chuck D. I shut him down. Damn. Fife brought it, man.
He floated on that joint. He floated on that.
Jeez. Fife was in his bag, man. Eddie, what you got, bro?
Yeah, man. I got Kid Hood for all the reasons you guys mentioned. 5 second, like, now that I'm thinking about it, man, that might be Fife's hardest verse.
Yeah, it is. It's hard. I mean, hard. Like. Okay, I believe you, Fife. You might be in the streets a little bit. Yeah.
He could have battled. Right. He could have battled a nigga with that verse.
Like, yeah.
Oh hell yeah. And I got Q-Tip 3rd, Busta Rhymes 4th. I think Busta was dope. I mean, I think I forgot who said it earlier, but it's like, you know, at that era of Busta, it was a whole lot of rah-rah. I feel like what he did on here compared to like the Flavor in Your Ear remix, it wasn't as extreme with it, so I liked it. But you know, I like what Q-Tip did a little bit more subtle, but the way he had his flow and rhyme scheme just kind of edged it out for me. And Kid Hood, when he said, "I'm a rock'em sock'em robot kid, I drop bombs, I rugged and deadly, so I shit on the petty." Like all them other lines, like y'all said too, you know. So I try to give y'all a different one, man. But he killed that whole shit. And it's like, you know, you hear about, you know, someone gets an opportunity, like you got one shot, you know, and that's like in a person, like you got one shot.
I would love to ask Tip how he brought this to the table. Like, did he just show up with Hood and niggas like, yo, who the fuck is this? Like, was this a, you know, did he talk about like, yo, do y'all mind if my young boy jump on, or like, how was it? You know what I mean? Or whatever like that. Cause was niggas like, yo, why this nigga get to go first? Who the fuck is this nigga? Like, you just bringing randoms to the studio, and niggas was like, oh, okay, fuck it. Did that make Fife step up and be like, oh, okay, that's the nigga? Like, I mean, right. You never know. You never know. That's what I mean. It's these backstories of like, oh, word, that's who you brought in, Tip? Okay, my nigga, I see how you. Okay, let me get ready. Let me get ready. Type.
I wonder if they changed the order after he passed, or was he always first? Because like the way Busta sets it off, you say one that's in spiritual essence,
right?
So I thought he was referring to Kid Hood because he passed.
Yeah, he was.
The song was released, so they may have. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if he was always meant to go first, or if they changed it around after that.
Right. Good news. Who you got, bro?
Number 1, I got Kid Hood for obvious reasons, man. His part was like, man, when you first heard it, it was like, damn, who is this guy? He was just hitting you punchline after punchline after punchline. Killed it, smashed it. Number 2, Fife Dog. I think Eddie, one of y'all said that was probably one of Fife Dog's hardest verses that he ever spit. Yes. He delivered that shit very nicely, man. Number 3, Charlie Brown. I always like I always like Charlie Brown's his voice, man. You know, and especially on the scenarios, man. Check it out to the break of dawn, like all that shit. I loved all his antics, man. Charlie Brown was dope, man. And number 4, you know what? I gave number 4 to Buster, but also I just want to mention didn't Marlo
dance in the new identity. Yeah, I was gonna say Marlo was hype.
Many styles. He killed that, son. Like, yeah, hostile heat being first to end it.
No, that's right. That is him. Yeah, you're right.
That's Marlo.
Man,
you're right.
He was that DJ. Like, you never really heard him rhyme, but he got a verse on there. He wasn't bad. He fit right in. But I gave go ahead.
People, it's like they fit in perfectly just for a good verse. You know what I mean?
Right.
Charlie would kill these posse cuts with that verse, but Charlie probably couldn't handle a whole solo album or solo.
Right. I really don't think that.
I mean? But he was good for just like, yo, we just need a quick 8. Oh, I got you on that, bro. Say less. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need a whole album, nigga. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right. We never got one after they broke up.
Right.
Right. And number 4, I gave the Busta, of course, man. Busta Rhymes was killing every record at that time. So yeah, that was my order, man, for scenario remix.
All right, Ron, what you got?
Before I give my list, I have a question for the panel. You all are hip hop historians. Does anyone on here have any idea what the hell Dinko D was talking about?
Yeah.
I don't think Dinko knew.
Like Low, one of them slim Terrarium, like,
yeah, he kind of.
All right.
Dinko.
I got the exact same order that Gnu. Hood, Fife, and the most impressive person to me on this track was Charlie, man. He like, I think he was edged on by the energy of Hood and Fife Love, so he came with it. And then I'm finishing with Buster.
All right. I know we going long. I got 2 more. I'm gonna hold y'all just for 2 more of them. We got Heads Ain't Ready. One of my personal favorites. And Click. I'm going with Rock.
Yes.
Strang and Tekken Still. Rock, when he comes in with the still, in case you don't know how we be living. It's in my nature to keep robbing like getting. I said this nigga said robbing like Robin. Yo, and then the fact how Robin Gibbons was robbing Mike Tyson, so Robin like I was like, yeah, I'm good, Rock, I'm good. And of course, I enjoyed the version of this with the big payback version, James Brown. There are 2 different versions of Heads Ain't Ready. I prefer the James Brown big payback version.
That was the harder one.
Much more sinister.
That's how me and Kill met. That's how we met.
Yeah, do that
on
song.
Twitter.
Do that song on Twitter. Yeah.
Okay.
So Rock, Strang, Tekken Still. Bro, who you got?
Almost the same, but I got Starang Wonder, number 1. Always liked him, man. Then
what was his verse, Real? Because I on this song, because I always get OGC mixed up.
Starang is the how do you describe his voice? He's the
what was his verse?
But do you know the verse? What his verse?
By heart, no. Not by heart, no. Not by heart, no.
Did he set it off? Did he set it off?
Let me look up the lyrics. Because let's see.
All right, while Rel's looking, Porsche, who you got?
Go ahead, Porsche.
I got Rock, Tekken Steel.
Rock, Tex. Okay. Okay. Cool.
And let me find the lyric of Rux that I love. It's the. Hold on. Oh man, I should have been way more prepared for this. Sorry, give me 1 second. Oh my bad. It's okay. You guys can go.
I got it. Yeah.
You got it, bro.
I remember that. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I remember what my part was. when he said, "Cause brothers ain't ready for the frozen dreads. Grab the Glock, hit you from your toes ahead." Yeah. That was my part on that joint. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I ain't heard that in a minute. But yeah, Starang was my dude, man. Like, I like, and then like, Rock. When did the switch happen with
Rock and Rock?
Yeah, like between who was the more popular.
Oh, it's all good, bro.
The more popular. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's when he became Sean Price, when Monkey Bars came out. Like that's when it flipped.
Okay, because Rockless was always my favorite.
Mine too.
Yeah,
that voice, bro. Woo.
Yeah. On Operation Lockdown, I think that was the name of the song. He went stupid on there. So he was always my favorite. Yeah. But go ahead.
What?
No, Force was
it was on Force. Oh, it was on Eddie.
No, she did Rock Tech Still.
Rock Tech Still, yes.
Rock.
I love their names. I love doing this list because their names are so dope.
So I had the same as you, Kill, except I had Starang 1 and and Rock 2.
Rock Tech Still. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm sorry, bro. I'm sitting right here looking at it. String also had the Heads Ain't Ready. Heads Ain't Ready. Grab the original Guns and Machetes. I pinned that ass to the grass like I was Teddy. That was the string line that I had.
Yeah.
Eddie, what you got, bro?
I'm going Buckshot, Tech, Steel, and Rockness.
Okay.
I know I'm the only one who mentioned Buck. I mean, I just
you're not.
I just like his flow, like his whole rhyme scheme. Like, you know, he had his own shit. You know what I mean? Tech and Steel, you know, I always love like how they complement each other. You know what I mean? So even they had their own verses, but then they kind of had to go back and forth. You know what I mean? And Rock, like, I feel like with Rock on this, it's hard going back, kind of knowing his full potential. It's kind of like what I said about Ghostface on Protect Your Neck. It's kind of like, and Ruck wasn't whack on this. It's just he wasn't Sean Price. He wasn't that real witty. You know, he's still witty, but you know what I'm saying. He wasn't his full potential. So it just kind of sounds like a letdown going back and listening to it.
Right. Canoe, who you got, bro?
Number one, I gave it to Steel. I like Steel. I always thought that Steel was nice, man. I think that he was slept on, man. But his flows was like straight from Yardie, like the one of Robert Marley. You Harley, I'm sorry, what I'm telling you. That song, it was like, damn.
I wake up in the morning and chocolate would start singing.
Yeah. Still, I think he had his flows was like water on that joint to me, man. Number two, I gave the Rock. Of course, Rock had that strong voice, man, that strong delivery, and he's very, like, to this day, like, you still, when I hear him around, I'm like, damn, he still got it. You know what I mean? He's still solid with his shit. Number three, I like Buck's verse on there, man. The way he came on there, just left my man Brown Nose. Who the fuck is Brown Nose? I don't know, man, but I like when he say that. Left my man Brown Nose. And then Starang, I gave him fourth.
Yeah. The way Buck came in with that, don't you know the WAR? Hoping to the head scope in, hoping they can get it right and write what I write, but they don't know the night. Keep me in my clique airtight. Right. Vern, what you got, bro?
I'm going Rock first, Buckshot 2, Starang, thank you, Real 3, and Ruck 4.
Right. The two verses I have from Tech and Still, you roaches don't even come close or approach this. Where I be smoking, leave your monkey ass choking. I used to always, bro, back at Morgan while you smoke, I used to always be like, man, leave your monkey ass choking. Fuck you talking about. You know what I mean? And then with Tech, now I got 4 eyes to watch my back, plus my own 2, make it a full 6-pack. Now we got Ruckus, the wannabe suckers, body and knuckles like I switch up my chuckers, because that's when niggas was rocking the black chuckers like that. You know what I mean? The black Tim chuckers. So We got that. The last one for the night. We ended it. We taking it down south. Watch for the Hook. Goody Mob. One of the craziest posse cuts. I got 3,000. I got Witch Doctor. I got Cool Breeze. I got Timo. With 3,000, just setting it off with never has every member in the crew been so diverse. Trying to outdo the last verse that I birthed, that is my curse. That right there was just, I mean, to me, I think if you're an MC, if you're a producer, like when I first started making beats, I'd make a dope beat and I'd be like, can I do it again? Can I make a beat as dope? Like, so I could only assume that may be how it is for MCs, where it's like, trying to outdo the last verse that I birthed, that is my curse. Like always trying to make the next verse that you wrote better than the last one you did. And then just the whole, you know, somebody let me hold a number 2 pencil because they tested. You know what I mean? So like that was it for me. So 3,000, Witch Doctor, Cool Breeze, Timo, Rel, what you got?
Yo, I got Big Boy, number 1. Spazzed on it. I got Timo. Like I ain't really know much about
Timo
Ball.
killed it.
He spazzed on that song, bro. Like he spazzed on that. Like he was not one of the ones that he kind of like wasn't as popular. You know what I mean? But he spazzed on that. And then Dre, and then Cool Breeze. And I'm gonna say something, man. Like we got the instrumental for that. Yo, we might have rapped over that John like so many times, bro. That was a
Organized Noise.
Yeah, that beat, so many people I know rap over that, bro. That beat was retarded, bro. That beat was crazy.
I got a quiz for the class. What are they saying? What are they saying right there?
Brother man.
I'll let y'all go first because Vern knows I know.
Yeah, I know. I saw you saying, brother man.
Nope.
Well, I'm wrong.
Everybody assumed that, but it's Southern Man. And I think I sent you, I copied you on it, didn't I, Kill?
Yeah.
Where they got that sample from, and it's ridiculous, man.
Okay. Wow. Well, that makes sense, Southern Man.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't learn that till I watched Questlove with Organizers on there, and Ray Murray said that's where they got the sample from. He's like, it's Southern Man, because everybody thought Fonte and Quest thought they were saying Brother Man. No, it's Southern Man. They said, oh, that makes sense. We Southern, so you know.
That's dope, man. Yeah,
because
I was 8 years old.
8 days to get through that Quest because I can't fucking stand Quest talking.
Yeah, Questlove.
Literally, somebody will say, "Hey, Sleepy, how's your day?" And Quest is going to answer the question. So
yeah, because
I have to literally take that in dosages. I literally right now I just fast forward until I see Quest not talking.
Yeah,
this is how I have to watch Questlove Supreme now.
Marvin Gaye, when you made What's Going On, I was on punishment. And
right.
I couldn't eat cereal that day, nigga. We don't care. We want to hear Marvin talk about.
Bro, I can't even. I just can't even do it. Porsche, who you got? Rel, did you go? You went. Right? Porsche.
I got Big Boy, Andre 3000, Timo, and Cool Breeze.
All right.
Yeah. It's a very dope cut. It's such a dope track. So. Yeah, right. No wrong answer.
And the funniest thing about it is it didn't sound like the regular Organized Noise. Like it sounded like when we got it in the 889, we was like, yo, this is
that was some East Coast. That shit was man.
There wasn't no live bass player. It was just boom bap like from the door. Eddie, who you got, bro?
I got Big Boy. I got Git. I like what he did. I'm gonna put CeeLo and Cujo together because what they were kind of doing with the back and forth. And if I get one more, I'll throw Cool Breeze in there. But I love like the combination of CeeLo and Cujo.
All right, good news. Who you got, bro?
Brother, I would not give that song justice. I would have to hear the song again. I didn't get a chance to listen to that. So I remember the record, I remember the track, but I don't know. I couldn't even rank it.
All good, bro. Totally get it. Totally get it. Vern, what about you?
All right. Number 1, 3 Stacks. Number 2, here's a sleeper that nobody ever mentions. Big Rube set that sucker off. Ain't no super heavyweight bouts with feudal everyday doubts. They strive so hard to be stars, but I'm a respected son. Measure my songs and bars with mine in metric tons. Got my spine invested in this. I do my best to win this, cause treachery is endless. I break before I bend. Know that without King Kong the pummel, you never hear quite the same rumble in your lame jungle. Big Rube got you ready for the verses that was coming. So I'm going him number 2. And like the wise man Eddie said, I'm merging Cujo and CeeLo together when they was doing that rhyming 800 miles an hour, man. I had to watch the lyrics to see what they were even saying.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna finish it. It's not what he said, it's how he said it. Gip, been here this year. It was a flow, a southern flow to it. So those are my 4.
Yo, Witch Doctor to me killed it. Listening to these ATL riders. I love that part. Then when he's like, streets full of snakes slithering, making deals delivering, that weed got you shivering, paranoia, 1500 goes to the lawyer. I was like, woo.
Yeah.
Okay, Witch. And then Cool Breeze, man. I know a lot of brothers in the rap game, but most of them are in it for the shiny things. You know what I mean? Or when the C stands for Cool Breeze, it's known as the champ. Freddie Calhoun, the cooler cutter is Camp. Those ones and the 2 got your whole crew shook. They'll listen to your corner, watch for that hook. They'll listen to your corner, watch for that hook. So, dope F, y'all. Dope F. Vern, let them know where they can get at you, good brother.
On Instagram, I am at V the Loan Closer. Closing real estate and mortgages. Cream, get the money. Dollar. But anyway, on Twitter, I'm V Chandler 10.
All right. Good news. Where can they get at you, bro?
Get at me on IG, man. At Mr. Gary Gnu on IG.
All right, Eddie. Where can they get at you, bro?
Twitter at EddieB80. Instagram at Freestyles.
All right, Porsche.
On Twitter at Porsche.
All right, Rel.
Uptown Rel 215 on the gram, JBen 215 on Twitter.
And you already know what it is with me, Kill 889 Twitter, IG. I will check y'all next week, good peoples.
See ya.
Peace.